Wisconsin won the toss, defers their decision to the second half. Michigan State will receive the football. Dropping back deep, the principal deep backs are Herb Haygood and Little John Flowers. And the kickoff by Vitaly Pisetsky. This is Haygood near the 1. Following his blocking, he's erased at the 20-yard line. Down to the field with us is Jim Barber. Jim?
All right, Wayne, had a chance to talk to both coaches before this football game. Barry Alvarez, Wisconsin Badgers, a bit subdued. He said, you know, we've been dealt a bad hand all season long. It's about time something good happens. As for the sideline with Michigan State, Bobby Williams, much more spirited. He feels his team pretty excited about today's game, and after a players-only meeting, ready to go.
Thank you, Jim. The players-only meeting was called by the quarterback, Ryan Van Dyke, who ducks in under center. On first down, it is T.J. Duckett, as expected, straight up the middle, and Nick Bryson, the middle linebacker, meets him from Wisconsin. Take a look at the numbers by Ryan Van Dyke, struggling a bit, hoping that the experience will correct some of the mistakes he's making right now. Second down, gain of 2 on that play, about 8 yards to go for Michigan State. Van Dyke out of Marshall, Michigan. The offset eye, the fullback is DeJuan Moss. Quick toss to the flank, may have been misdirected by the oncoming defensive lineman. Over there to make a play was Delonte McGrew. Advance Auto Parts starting lineups. Let's take a look at the offensive line. Brian Otney is the redshirt freshman in a sea of seniors. Those are all seniors alongside.
Herb Haygood, the best Michigan State receiver. Big challenge today. Probably will be matched up against Jamar Fletcher all day.
Third down for Michigan State. Third and about 8. Michigan State just 21% on third down conversions overall. And down goes Van Dyke. Wendell Bryant basically pushed his man back into the quarterback, and will get credit for the sack along with Herbert. Take a look at the defense for Wisconsin. Front line, Delonte McGrew getting the start in place of the injured John Fabray.
For the linebackers, Jeff Mack, a redshirt freshman, been solid all year.
Fletcher and Eccles may be the best tandem of cornerbacks starting in the Big Ten today. Confirmation time now for Michigan State. Craig Jarrett, who struggled last week, it's off a high kick to Nick Davis, and he is nabbed immediately by Demario Suggs. Randy, they've had trouble getting Nick Davis, an explosive punt and kick returner, on track all season. He came in averaging just 6.8 yards per return.
And Michigan State struggled all last week with their special teams. Starts off on the right foot today. Just a wonderful play, one-on-one. Mario Suggs comes out a winner there.
43-yard punt, lost 2 on the return, and it's first down. They mark it near the 33-yard line. So the Wisconsin Badgers, who have struggled offensively, led by the battered Brooks Bollinger. He's already been sacked 23 times this season. Wisconsin quarterbacks were sacked just 13 times all of last year. Bennett tripped up in the middle of the line as he tried to cut that one back. Looked like Richard Brown, the extra defensive back, getting to make a hit. There's a look at Brooks Bollinger. He's a sophomore out of Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Wayne, you mentioned Bollinger's already been sacked 23 times in 6 games. This is not a team that throws the ball a lot. That is a lot of sacks for the few amount of time, the few attempts that he's got.
So it is second down, gain of about a yard in the play. 2nd and 9 for Wisconsin. Davis, the man in motion. Bennett trying to get to the outside, tripped over his own blocker, and down he goes. Ben Johnson was the man on the ground that he tripped over. Take a look at the Advance Auto Parts starting lineups. And for the Wisconsin Badgers, that offensive line has been in a state of flux.
And another new starter today, Jeremy Docks, making his first start at right guard.
At the skill positions, wide receiver Chris Chambers. This is his 3rd game back from suspension and a foot injury. They're looking for big things from him. Jeremy Docks, the new starter, Randy mentioned a moment ago, had a good week of practice according to the Wisconsin coaches. 3rd down. Bollinger on the rollout. Being pursued by Thornhill, and the pass thrown away incomplete. So it becomes 4th down. Each offense, 1, 2, 3, and out. Michigan State defensively, this is a big change here.
Jay Saylor, their best run stopper moves from tackle to left end to try and stop Wisconsin's favorite running play to the outside.
Josh Thornhill was the featured speaker of the players-only meeting last Sunday.
Thomas Wright, from his strong safety position, will play more like a linebacker today.
Punt formation time for Wisconsin. Kevin Stemke is on, the senior, left-footed punter, averaging about 45.6 yards per punt. Second in the NCAA. Got a low snap, just did get away that kick. And Foster waves it off. It takes a huge Wisconsin bounce inside the 15 and will be down near the 11-yard line. A fortuitous bounce as they narrowly avert disaster. Watch this. Low snap, near block. Stemke gets it away, and the Badgers come up smelling like roses.
All those things, plus the service. Hey, knock it off. Is incredible. If you're traveling on business, stay at Sleep in a class by itself.
You'll be amazed how much you save on fine leather at Value City Furniture. Furnish your living room with this wonderful leather sofa and chair for just $899. Or this 2-piece all-leather Italian sofa and love seat for just $1,099. Or this luxurious 3-piece Italian leather living room for just $1,399. Come see the best leather values in the world, only at Value City Furniture. You just can't do any better.
It's not just a sled, it's a priority. See your dealer for details on nothing down, no payments, and no interest until March 2001.
Today's Big Ten telecast is brought to you by Buick. Isn't it time for a real car? Sleep In. The next time you travel, stay at Sleep in a class by itself. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And HotJobs.com. Hot Jobs. Onward, upward. Well, each side has had an opportunity with the football. Each side 1, 2, 3 and out offensively. Michigan State second possession starts deep in their own territory. Football back inside the 12-yard line with a first down. And they roll Van Dyke. Hits Haygood in the short pattern. Eccles on the tackle up across the 15-yard line. Michigan State keeps this particular statistic intact today with that 1, 2, 3 and out a few moments ago. Second down coming up now for State. Two teams looking to get off losing streaks that have all but destroyed their Big Ten championship hopes. Duckett trying to cut it back. Able to break through for a moment, and then a short tackle made by Nick Greisen. First down, Michigan State.
Wayne, T.J. Duckett is going to remind a lot of Wisconsin people of the Ron Dayne style of run. Stops, stutter steps, and then sees that hole and squirts through there. Big guy, but awfully quick feet.
And Randy, we saw him last week. Had a huge ball game at Iowa. Career high, 248 yards. So first down for Michigan State. Football just short of the 25. That's Haygood, the man in motion. Little play action. They set up a screen. Dewan Moss down the sidelines, able to escape out of bounds. near the 28-yard line. They allowed Ross Kalaji to come through on the pass rush and set up the screen nicely to Moss.
These are some of the things that you try and do as an offensive coordinator to get your quarterback some successful plays early. Work on that confidence a little bit. Short passes to the flat, little screen plays, highly risk-free plays, highly successful, so that you can get something positive going for yourself.
Gain of about 3 on that play. Second down coming up. Ryan Van Dyke has now played 1 game and 17 snaps coming into this one this season. Van Dyke running the option. Here comes Duckett wide. Duckett short of the first down. A cut down by Bose. Let's go to the studio. Mike Gleason.
Wayne, the Wildcats didn't waste any time getting on the board against the Purdue Boilermakers. 76-yard drive capped off by Damian Anderson. He's in for the score. And right now it's 7-0 Cats over the Boilermakers. It's still in the first quarter. Wayne?
I got a feeling 7 points will not stand up in that game. I think it's going to take more than 7.
That game may not be over before dinner.
They will go back and forth. I can guarantee you that. That'll be an entertaining ball game. Third down, gain of 6 of the previous play. Third down, less than a yard to go. What do you think? I think they're going to give it to Duckett.
Because he's the only back there. It's a good choice.
I think because he's one of the nation's leading running backs that he picks up the first down on a short gain.
By number 99,
T.J. Duckett came back last week in the fourth quarter against Iowa, against the trainer's wishes. He suffered a groin injury in the second quarter, and by the fourth quarter, he was pretty well spent. As you get a look at the first down play selection for Michigan State. But in that fourth quarter, just 3 carries for 10 yards for Duckett.
You look at this play selection right here, 102 rushes, 51 passes, and with Duckett picking up 4 or 5 yards on first down, they've been able to stay in that kind of a rhythm.
Again, they're running option. This time, the freshman gets a first down out near the midfield marker. Tyrell Dortch out of Hoboken, New Jersey. First down on a gain of 13.
Wayne, look for Michigan State to do some of these trick plays, new things on first down. Wisconsin defensively very simple on first down. They don't do a lot of complicated things, so they can predict, and Ryan Van Dyke can execute. Very well executed play. Stretch that option out and give the ball to Dortch with some room to run.
First and 10. Haygood again, the man in motion. And here comes Dortch again. A little bit quicker start than does Duckett. Dortch, 5'10", 229. Well compacted. Jamar Fletcher made the stop.
Anytime you're going to have a successful running play from the tailback position, you got to have a fullback that blocks. Number 47 right there, Travis Wilson, just delivers a good blow, ties up that linebacker, and Dortch is quick enough to get right through that hole.
Yeah, he got a hat on Bryson that time, and that sprung it for about 8 yards. Second down and 2.
Both fullbacks in this game, excellent blockers.
Again, Haygood in motion out of the straight eye. And here comes Duckett. Duckett had to slide a bit to his left, and Wendell Bryant latched on and would not let go. Bryant, preseason All-America, leads this team in sacks and tackles behind the line of scrimmage. There he is, big number 77.
With Wisconsin going 0-3 in the Big Ten, their coaches were not very talkative about who has been doing well, but Wendell Bryant is one name that they mentioned. You take a look at his season numbers, and he has been one of the few bright spots for this defense.
Michigan State beginning to grind it out a little bit. They're facing third down and short once again. Again, they run the option. This time, Van Dyke keeps it. Bryson rides him down near the 35-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of almost 7 yards.
Michigan State doing a nice job of blocking on the perimeter. The wide receiver, number 13, Marcus Waters, does a nice job sealing off the cornerback and giving Van Dyke the alley. Now, when you only need 1 yard on third down, good decision by Van Dyke. He knows he's got the first down. Don't risk the pitch.
If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen this much option for Michigan State in the games we've done earlier this year. But this play, as I mentioned, beginning to grind it out here. The time of possession significant as well. And they've done a good job of converting on third downs. Duckett going wide, being forced to the outside, and cut down quickly on the play by DeBerry Hughes, who is starting for the injured Jason Doring. Doring sprained a knee at Michigan and suffered a concussion in the second quarter last week against Ohio State. Unable to answer the call for today's game. He was limited in practice all week.
If Michigan State can continue to put this kind of pressure on the outside, they're going to force these corners for Wisconsin. Great cover guys, but not necessarily super run support. Force them to come up and play the run. It's going to open up that passing game as this game goes on.
You don't find many corners that are great in run support, do you? The best of all time didn't want to make a tackle on the run. That was Deion Sanders. Quick throw, nice catch. Boy, Richardson, Randy, had to come back and adjust it and bail his quarterback out. That passed it on a little bit behind him. Good catch on a gain of 10. It's another first down, Michigan State.
We talked early about how the confidence factor was going to be important today, and Van Dyke has had a lot of success early. A couple completions, and he's been able to run the ball well also. Nothing like a couple of hits early to get those butterflies out of your system.
What'll be interesting to see is when they do insert Jeff Smoker into the lineup at quarterback. They said they were going to play both quarterbacks, they being the coaches. First down, and again some options. Duckett going wide, and he's got some speed once he's out there. Good coverage provided by the Wisconsin Badgers. Eccles came up from his quarterback spot. Good pursuit by Ben Herbert, the rush end for Wisconsin as well.
But it's good pursuit, as you said, but when you can pitch the ball early and you give your running back all this room, it doesn't look like a big play, but it turns out to be 5 or 6 yards. Herbert there forces Van Dyke to pitch, but by the time he catches up and makes the tackle, it's 5 yards downfield.
Second down coming up for the Spartans. Gain of about 4 on that play. And Randy, are they happy with 4, maybe 5 yards on first down? That keeps them on schedule.
Absolutely. If you can get 4 yards on first down, that's what you're hoping for.
Be good in motion. The give on the stretch play to Duckett. He cuts it back, breaks a tackle, and inside the 15 goes T.J. Duckett, about a yard short of the first down. Gain of 5. Wendell Bryant in on the stop.
This is what makes Duckett so dangerous. It doesn't look like it's going to be that much of a game, but yet he's got quick feet, and then once you get a hit on him, he's got that strength to pull forward and always falls for another yard or 2.
The coaches would like to see that 41% up over 50 in red zone touchdowns. Michigan State is in the red zone on third down here. Chris Baker, the man in motion, the tight end, give to Duckett. Not much there. He is close to the first down as he falls forward, and when T.J. Duckett falls forward, 6'1" and 252 pounds, generally he'll get an extra yard out of it. See where they are. I think regardless of whether they've got the first down, they've got it. First down for Michigan State.
And take a look at T.J. Duckett coming off the field right now. He carried the ball, as you mentioned earlier, 30 times last week at Iowa, and they hit him hard and they hit him a lot, and his body was just tired after that game. Bobby Williams told us he's fine for this game, but Wisconsin, a very physical defense. I'm sure they're going to wear on him as this game goes on.
From the eye, Van Dyke on the pitch. Here comes Dortch. Dortch caught from behind by the pursuit of Delonte McGrew. Good range out there. McGrew coming in place of the injured John Fabre. We'll also see Ben Herbert out there as well.
Excellent play by McGrew. Travis Wilson, the fullback, releases to go up and block downfield, thinking that his back, Dortch, will get around McGrew, but McGrew chases him down, makes an outstanding play.
16th play of this drive coming up for Michigan State. Gain of about a yard on that play. Second down and 9. Michigan State striving for the first score of the game. Vacant backfield. Van Dyke. Quick toss. He's got Richardson, who's stacked up near the 6. Right on him defensively. Nick Grayson, the linebacker.
Pretty good job by Van Dyke, standing in this pocket right here, waiting for the play to develop. He gets hit after he throws the ball, but with a short drop like that, that's really pretty good protection. And as this pass play develops, he throws a strike right there to Richardson, makes another key catch, short the first down, but with T.J. Duckett in the backfield and the success they're having with the options so far, 3rd and 3 is not too bad.
Again, they get motion from Dortch out of the backfield. Everybody out for a pass. Van Dyke nowhere to go. Pressure came quickly when it did from Jake Sprague. Sprague, a junior out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. came in with a couple of quarterback hurries.
Take a look at the coverage here. Nobody open and nowhere to throw that ball. Don't want to take the sack when you're down by the goal line, but yet doesn't take them out of field goal range. And wisely, Van Dyke did try and force something in there and give up the opportunity for the field goal.
David Schaefer on a 31-yard field goal attempt for the first points of the game, and it is good. A long drive by Michigan State, deep into Wisconsin territory. Thwarted on this sack by Jake Sprague. They settle for the field goal at a 3-0 lead.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, I'm burning up.
So, are you having as good a time as I am? Oh, do you want to go somewhere more quiet? Don't you find me attractive?
Coors Light, frost brewed at the edge of freezing. Did you say something?
Hi, I'm Pete Rose. Catch my buddy Danny Sheridan on his show, Talking Sports, on CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast.
Talking Sports with Danny Sheridan, Tuesdays at 8:30 Eastern on CSS.
Get between your kids and drugs any way you can if you want to save the kid's life.
Hey man, what you need? What do I need? What do I need? I need to graduate. I need a job when I grow up. I need a future. I need to laugh. I need to have fun. I need to be a kid. I need to be healthy. I need a chance. I need peace. I need friends who care about me. Most of all, what I need is for you to get lost.
The next time a pusher asks you what you need, let him know.
Bobby Williams said we need to do more passing down to the red zone. Well, that's about all they did. T.J. Duckett heading off, and I wonder if he may have re-injured that groin that was bothering him last week. But an 18-play, 76-yard drive. They didn't get 7 out of it, but they did get 3 on the 31-yard field goal.
That's important. The last couple of weeks, Michigan State has had some long drives, lots of plays where they haven't gotten any points out of it. This time, as you said, they didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got 3, and it also got them the lead.
Davis on the left of your screen is the principal return man for Wisconsin. And here's the kickoff by Schaefer. Good height, leverage, and depth. Into this one, no chance for Nick Davis to return, and Wisconsin will start this drive at the 20-yard line. It's homecoming in East Lansing on a beautiful October afternoon, and right now, Sparty plays on the lead.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. It's all about safety and comfort and that devilish grin you get knowing you just got the better end of the deal. Like a $1,250 value on the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. You can get real comfortable with that. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
Teacher tells us all we gotta do is just say no. And the other day, a policeman came to our class talking about saying no too. But my teacher doesn't have to walk home through this neighborhood. And maybe the dealers are scared of the police. But they're not scared of me. And they sure don't take no for an answer.
Kevin Scott and all the other kids who take the long way home, we hear you. Don't give up.
Word from the Michigan State locker room, T.J. Duckett being treated for a hip pointer. Hopefully he'll come back. That's a very painful injury to play with. First down for Wisconsin from its 20. Bollinger on first down looking to throw. Now looking just to make a play. Bollinger Able to somehow get about 5, maybe 6 yards out of that. Jim Barber's down on the sidelines. Jim, what do you have for us?
Wayne, great timing. That play just moments ago on the part of the Badgers is exactly what Bill Miller and the gang talked about during the last defensive series. That is watching Bollinger out of the pocket. They're concerned about his ability to get out and find a receiver. They're happy with the way they're containing Bennett so far, and they'll take getting into a 3-and-11 situation anytime if possible.
2nd down and 4 here. Bollinger, not a lot of confidence in his offensive line, his protection, I should say. That has a detrimental impact long-term on a quarterback over the course of a ball game. Not much there on the dive off left tackle. Michigan State has shown some new wrinkles, Randy. We mentioned the lineup changes they've made, and that may take a quarter or so for Wisconsin to figure out. But the Badgers overall this season have been a slow starting team anyway.
They've started slow in every game, and with not having a lot of snaps here in the first quarter, it's hard to get into any kind of an offensive rhythm. Michigan State has controlled the ball, got some points out of it. This is just the 2nd drive for Wisconsin. The first drive was only 3 plays, so when you don't have a lot of opportunity to get on the field, hard to develop any kind of a rhythm.
38% on 3rd downs for Wisconsin. 3rd down here. Bollinger running option, tripped up, short of the 1st down. He got about a yard or 2, and that was it. Jace Saylor got a piece of him.
Jay Saylor has moved to the defensive end position today instead of the defensive tackle, more of a 3-4, because he's their best defensive lineman, and Wisconsin likes to run that outside off-tackle run. They felt he would give them the best chance to stop that play. This time it wasn't Bennett, but it was Bollinger.
Kevin Stemke on in punt formation, moving up the list of punting leaders. It's Chad Coombs, the fullback, number 41. Stemke gets away, kind of a short end-over-end kick. It turns over on him. It does bounce across the 30, taking a Wisconsin hop initially, and then is quickly gathered in short of the 30-yard line. Time to take a look at what's on tap, brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light is frost brewed to capture a cold, refreshing taste. Tap the Rockies. Michigan State coming up next Saturday, the big one at Michigan, then Illinois back at home, and Ohio State on the road, followed by Purdue and Penn State.
One of the things that concerned Michigan State was this is where the physical part of their schedule really begins.
Indeed it does, judging from those teams left on the schedule. Little John Flowers is the tailback now, as we told you earlier. T.J. Duckett being treated for a hip pointer in the locker room. Flowers finds an opening. Pretty big opening. Out to the midfield marker and beyond. Out of bounds to the 48-yard line. Forced out by Jamar Fletcher. 22-yard gain.
More success on the ground for Michigan State. Well blocked, and then a couple of missed arm tackles. Flowers, not knowing whether he wants to go inside or outside, does a good job of setting up the block by his wide receiver Richardson there and making the most out of that run. Good blocking at the point of attack and then downfield by his receiver.
Longest run of this season by Little John Flowers. First down to the 48-yard line. Flowers again. Back to the Phillips 66 studio and Mike Gleason.
Well, I think you guys said there might be some scoring in this football game. Drew Brees came back to tie this one at 7 with Northwestern, but that's Zach Gustock to Teddy Johnson, 7 yards. Right now it's 14-7 Northwestern, 7:27 to go. And in Columbus, Glenn Mason has some sights on spoiling homecoming. Gophers 10, Buckeyes zip. Wayne?
Thank you very much. Well, that's a big game. Glenn Mason always gets his team fired up to go back to Ohio State. Mason's played there under Woody Hayes. 2nd down here for Michigan State. And again, the option. Dorsch caught on the flank of the defense. Good play made by Jeff Mack, the linebacker. Jim Barber, what can you tell us on T.J. Duckett's status?
Guys, the word from the locker room is he's going to be okay. He's expected to come back, and he is expected to play at this point.
Well, that's good news for Michigan State.
Bobby Williams has got to be happy with the way his offense is taking control of this game. His offensive line has taken it upon themselves. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and if they continue to do that, Michigan State's going to continue to have success running the ball.
Van Dyke rolling past traffic. Haygood got it.
and will go all the way. Touchdown.
43 yards.
Wayne, the success on the ground Michigan State has had has forced Wisconsin to blitz and come with more people to try and shut that down. You're going to blitz and you don't get to the quarterback. You got one-on-one coverage. And that time, Haygood did a nice job beating the coverage of B.J. Tucker. And that's what happens when you get one part of your game working well. You force the other team to do something they're not comfortable with, and that's blitz. It didn't work out for them.
Michigan State has come out with a vengeance, and they are ringing the bell here in East Lansing. The Spartans, with 11 seconds to go first quarter, have a 10-0 lead over the Wisconsin Badgers. 4 plays to go 70 yards is all it took.
Take a look at the protection that Van Dyke gets. The blitz is coming from his left, so he rolls away from it, steps up in the pocket, and when you've got that much cushion between the defender and the receiver, you don't have to throw a perfect pass. Haygood does a good job catching it in and then breaking the tackle, and you can see these Spartans are fired up today. They have had 2 tough losses. They came out ready to play today.
Haygood got the matchup they wanted, and that is on B.J. Tucker, not Jamar Fletcher. And Haygood able to separate himself from the coverage, and the pass kind of wobbled in there, but got there nonetheless, and Herb Haygood hit a home run. 43-yard touchdown reception. Michigan State in command early. Twin safeties back deep. Davis on the left, Faulkner on the right. And here's the kickoff by Schaefer with the wind to his back. Davis from 3 yards deep. Nick Davis. Penalty marker down on the far side as Davis is steered out of bounds just short of the 25-yard line. Again, a penalty marker down. And we'll have the result when we return to East Lansing. Herb Haygood, 43 yards to a 10-0 Michigan State lead. Penalty marker was down on that kickoff.
Should feel with a new
to a close, and now we will step away from East Lansing, Michigan, where the Spartans have a 10-0 lead over the Badgers.
It's like a furnace up in this mug.
Jamie Foxx.
Burning up. It's hot enough to make a cool brother sweat. Let me get a Coors Light. Coors Light. Yeah. Get it now. Oh, man, you're so pretty.
I bet you tell it to all the girls.
Yeah, I do.
Who's like?
New batteries. Liquid wrench. Autocraft battery cables. AC Delco alternators. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
You know we can give you a free installation if you like.
Sure.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Why are business travelers choosing Sleep Inn? The well-lit grounds, the electronic locks, the walk-in showers, complimentary breakfast. Because it's a place that understands the needs of the business traveler. It's all those things. Plus the service.
Hey, knock it off.
Is incredible. If you're traveling on business, stay at Sleep Inn in a class by itself.
Fight one more round. When your feet are so tired that you have to shuffle back to the center of the ring. Fight one more round. When your arms are so tired that you hardly can lift your hands to come on guard. Fight one more round. When your nose is bleeding and your eyes are black.
Ray, I suffered the man from the boys. Now we're blowing it.
When you're so tired that you wish your opponent would crack you on the jaw and put you to sleep. Fight one more round. The best fighters in the world have a few things in common. best, and they all fight on HBO. Fight one more round. Remembering that the man who always fights one more round is never whipped. Fight one more round.
For over 25 years, boxing's undisputed champion.
Wisconsin off to another unusual, unfortunately for them, slow start. They have just 8 yards in 1 quarter and no score, as Michigan State has a 10-0 lead at this juncture in the ball game. And it's first down for the Badgers. Football to the 24-yard line. The officials picked up the flag on the kickoff just a moment ago. And so everything stands as it ended on the tackle. Bennett has not had much running room at all. He gets about 3 yards right there. And we welcome you back to East Lansing, Michigan, where it's homecoming in these parts. Wayne Larrabee, Randy Wright, Jim Barber down to the sideline. I mentioned another customary slow start for Wisconsin. Randy, what do they have to do to get themselves on track in this game?
I think they need to get their passing game involved, at least in some sense. With Michigan State coming up, stopping the run with the way they have, it's just going to make it harder for them to try and run the ball unless they open things up.
Second down. About 7 yards to go. Trying to get Bennett to the outside. Good pursuit once again. Penalty markers all over the play.
Flag on the play.
Bennett got out to the 30-yard line on a gain of about 3 yards.
Stopped by number 37, Cedric Henry.
Illegal block or illegal contact against Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the Buick first quarter stats. Heavily in favor of the Spartans, who converted big time on third downs, including a 43-yard touchdown pass. And, of course, that led to the time of possession advantage.
And you look at the first downs, 8 first downs. They're doing things not in huge chunks, but they're sustaining drives. Part of that, the third down conversions that you talk about, Wayne. When you've got 141 yards in just the first quarter, you're doing whatever you want offensively.
So the penalty against Wisconsin backs the Badgers up even further. And they face second down. And about 13 yards to go now. The football back near the 21-yard line. Beautiful sun-splashed afternoon. A homecoming in East Lansing. 3 receivers set now for Bollinger. Bollinger, a little pump fake. He's got a man out there, Evans, and he overshot him, incomplete. Evans had at least 3 steps on the coverage, maybe more on Richard Newsom. Jim Barber, what do you have on Barry Alvarez?
Guys, what we're seeing so far is indicative of what Barry talked about with me before the game, that this team is beginning to lose confidence in itself. It's a rare admission considering how successful they've been over the last couple of years with the Big Ten championships and the Rose Bowl titles. But he felt that this team had to have something good happen in the first half, or perhaps the rest of the game might be indicative of what has gone on so far this year. Duckett, by the way, moments ago said, "I'm ready to go and I'm coming back."
All right, Jim. Third down and long for the Badgers. Bollinger needs a timeout. The struggle continues for Brooks Bollinger and the Badger offense. Down 10 at Michigan State early going in second quarter.
Okay, DJ, I'm ready for you. What's the game?
I'll see boomerang.
Boomerangs? I prefer football.
So what are you doing here?
I came here for the big juicy steaks. How about you?
I want that shrimp on the barbie.
Now let's go eat.
They're back.
You're about to see something special. The 2001 Buick Century Special Edition. Luxury, quality, the little buzz you get from driving it. The 2001 Century Special Edition is all that, and less. $1,250 less right now. Century has been a Consumer's Digest Best Buy for 4 straight years. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today. Check out the 2001 Century Special Edition, or get 0.0% financing on all remaining new 2000 Centuries.
Touch-up paint. Bendix brakes. TRW tie rods. Rabbit's foot. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
First driving lesson?
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Oh, no, not snow. Not snow. Not snow.
Polaris. It's not just a sled. It's a priority. See your dealer for details on nothing down, no payments, and no interest until March 2001.
Back at East Lansing, Wisconsin, early going second quarter, still seeking its first down of the afternoon. They'll have to get almost 14 yards to get it on this play. Bollinger had time initially. Myers guns him down back inside the 10-yard line. Randy, part of the criticism in Madison of Brooks Bollinger was that he's holding the ball too long. What do you see here?
I think he's got to rely on his protection a little bit. Michigan State didn't do anything different. He's got to be looking downfield, and sometimes you just have to feel the pressure to get rid of it. Not Bollinger's fault there, but this is why he doesn't get rid of the ball. Not really knowing where his receivers are going to be, there really didn't seem to be any kind of rhythm to that play, and when the receivers came open late, Bollinger was already on the ground.
Kevin Stempke just did get it away. That was almost blocked again. Penalty marker down to the end zone. The punt muffed for a moment by Foster, who recovers it. There's the penalty marker down in the end zone. Preliminary indication roughing the kicker against Michigan State.
They're going to call this the personal foul, which is going to be the 15-yard penalty. Take a look. Michigan State's come close a couple of times. Good call to Stempke. Nelson goes right into Stempke's knee.
Roughing the kicker on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot and a first down.
The first down of the day for Wisconsin. Broderick Nelson, the guilty party. Watch it again.
Take a look. This is the same stunt Michigan State ran earlier where Nelson came free, almost blocked it. This time, he goes after the ball a little better than he did last time, but if you're going to miss the ball going straight at the punter, that's going to be the result. Now, Wisconsin needed 26 yards for the first down. It was only a 15-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down, being a personal foul.
And the football now resting at the 24-yard line. So the Badgers continue this drive. Down 10-0 in East Lansing. Almost 2 minutes gone by second quarter. Bollinger, quick slant. Chambers unable to hang on. Underneath the coverage of Cedric Henry.
Wayne, when you look at Wisconsin's wideouts with Nick Davis and Chris Chambers, they're very good, very quick, excellent route runners. And what Michigan State has done is they're pressing their cornerbacks, Cedric Henry and Ronaldo Hill. They're putting them at the line of scrimmage, right in their face, and just forcing Wisconsin to try and beat them through the air. And though these receivers have the ability to get open, they're not being able to time things up with Bollinger and get the ball there.
Bennett. And a blocker in front of him. Good acceleration down the sideline. And he's got a first down near the 40-yard line at the Wisconsin 39. 15-yard gain. Nice run by Bennett. Good execution to look like up front, Randy.
Nice job. Good hold. Gives Bennett the line of scrimmage, and you let him get to the outside, and he's strong enough to break those arm tackles once he gets that momentum going. He's got excellent balance. Watch him stay in bounds. Picks up these extra yards. Gives them the first down, and when yards have been as tough to come by as they have been for the Badgers, you need every one of those you can get.
Looked like a ballerina step down that sideline, didn't it? Take a look at the all-purpose leaders, and Bennett at the top of the list. Bollinger play action, lots of time now. Still looking, trying to get somebody open, and he finally throws it out of play. So Bollinger had enough time to read War and Peace, but couldn't find anybody open. And Jim Barber, penalties have been a problem for Michigan State, haven't they?
Yes, guys, you saw the game last week, and State hurting itself considerably against Iowa and costing themselves a game in Iowa City. That was the source of conversation here on the sidelines about the kicking penalty, the roughing the kicker, and they were very happy with the aggressiveness on the part of Michigan State, but not the penalty.
Thank you, Jim. Second down coming up. for Wisconsin. Bollinger. Receiver looking inside. Bollinger threw it to the outside hip, and that receiver was Michael Bennett. And the coverage provided on the play by Richard Newsom.
Take a look at Bollinger, yet to complete a pass. He's had some open receivers, just hasn't been able to get the ball on target. Michael Bennett, when you split a running back out to the wide receiver position, he's not used to running those patterns. That's a hard one to time up with a quarterback because you just don't have that rhythm.
3rd and 10 again for Wisconsin. This is what Bill Miller, defensive coordinator at Michigan State, talked about. Keeping Wisconsin off schedule. Make it 3rd and long, 3rd and 4 or more. Bollinger struggling to stay afoot. Bollinger goes down in a sea of green. Nick Myers and Josh Shaw raining all over the Wisconsin quarterback. Loss of yardage back to the 31, loss of 8.
Well, Bill Miller told us that he is going to continue to play aggressive, and they are going to come after Wisconsin. Nice job by Bollinger not going down the first time, but the rhythm is broken, and it's just a sitting duck back there. Take a look at the coverage. The reason they've got this kind of coverage is they're only rushing 4, and you're not supposed to have that kind of pressure that early when you're only rushing 4.
Kevin Stempke back. Punt formation. Foster. Line drive kick by Stempke. And this one caroms out of bounds on the near side in the neighborhood of the 30-yard line. That's where Wisconsin will put it in play. Trailing 10-0.
Hey, Mr. Tool Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Buy Quaker State and get a football hat or T-shirt from your favorite team.
Oh, that's good. We need some more toilet paper.
All new adventures.
Bad monkey.
All new songs.
Getting gay with kisses here.
All new drama.
Whoa, dude.
Same old attitude.
You're going to be held back a grade if you don't... Did you just flip me off?
South Park, Wednesdays at 10 p.m., 9 Central, only on Comedy Central.
Did you know that Ricky Henderson holds the record for the most stolen bases?
Did you know that you can set your own record for steals and interceptions? Let's look at the numbers.
They're not good numbers, Linda. Stolen cable boxes can get you a police record of up to 15 years in prison and $50,000 in fines.
And intercepting your cable service illegally can get you between 5 and 10 years in prison.
Cable and satellite theft, they're bad things. What kind of record do you want to set?
Michigan State football, Spartans in the lead, 10-0 with 11:52 to go, second quarter. It's first down just across the 30-yard line. Dorsch trying to get to the outside, a little head fake, got around one man, now fumbles the football near the midfield marker, and Richardson got it back. Herbert was the man that Dorsch beat to the corner, Randy, but just gave up the football.
Boy, I don't know that he really beat him there as much as he just, boy, what a move right there to get around him. Nice move there, but Herbert comes from behind, causes a fumble. Take a look, there's the first move. Dorsch puts another good move on to get around Devery Hughes, but Herbert at least comes back from behind and causes the fumble.
First down nonetheless, and here's T.J. Tuckett back on. He fumbles the football, piled up inside the 40-yard line. I believe Michigan State got it back. Wow, that football's getting slippery out there, isn't it?
Well, when you break through the line and you've got pursuit coming from behind, that's where a lot of your fumbles happen. This time it's Duckett. He gets through. Nice blocking. Missed tackle right there. And then it's the pursuit coming from behind. That time Jeff Mack causes the fumble. But with good blocking downfield and players going after the ball, you've got a lot more green jerseys around there. So it's been their momentum and their pursuit that's been able to keep the ball for Michigan State.
He got it back, going over the top. Van Dyke over the shoulder attempt made, and it's off the hands of Herb Haygood, who once again had the coverage beaten downfield, this time of Debris Hughes. Oh my, they don't draw him up any nicer than that.
And you won't get opportunities as nice as that. Wonderful play action, perfect pass. Haygood just loses that ball, maybe in the sun a little bit, but it just bounces right off his helmet right there. What a well-executed play, and Van Dyke knows he had one right there that his team let get away.
Dropped it in right on the half. Second down. Van Dyke threw it just a bit behind the big tight end Chris Baker, who suffered an ankle injury at Iowa early in that ball game and did not return, but is back this week. Elsewhere in college football, Minnesota up big on undefeated Ohio State. How about that one? Northwestern leading Purdue. They're in the second. Maybe that settled down a little bit. Looked like it was going to be a track meet early. Southern Miss at the top of Tulane. Third down and 10. Oh my. False start. That's as false a start as you could have. Richardson took off. He might have forgotten the snap count. I don't know.
Well, when you're playing the wide receiver position, you never hear the count anyway. You just look at the ball. Ball didn't move, and he was off.
Snap. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And you hear the wind on the microphone of the official, Steve Newman, down on the field. Spartan Stadium filled to capacity in East Lansing, Michigan on a glorious homecoming weekend. Along with Randy Wright and Jim Barber, I'm Wayne Larrabee. Great to have you with us for Big Ten football this afternoon. 3rd and 15 for Michigan State. Van Dyke on his own. They blitzed the corner, and he came back to make the tackle. Mike Eccles on the stop, gain of about 3 yards, make it 4 on the play. It's 4th down, Michigan State.
Well, Wisconsin realizes Michigan State is having their way when they sit in their base defense. They've got to create some things. Nice job by Wendell Bryant, 77, staying at home, not letting Van Dyke get that room to run, and then the pursuit catches him from behind, forcing those Spartans to punt.
Craig Jarrett has put 10 down inside the 20. That's what he'll try to do here. Nick Davis back deep. Jarrett gets good leverage into this kick. Did he get too much depth? Just a bit too much. And a touchback, although the Spartans had it surrounded. Nonetheless, that little pigskin eluded them. Wisconsin starts at its 20 when we return.
You're about to see something special. Introducing the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. It's all about safety and comfort and that devilish grin you get knowing you just got the better end of the deal. Like a $1,250 value on the 2001 Buick LeSabre Special Edition. You can get real comfortable with that. Come see something special. Come see your Buick dealer today.
I never thought I'd get a credit card until I called Providian. They gave me the chance to prove myself with a Visa secured card. Now, my credit's going up, up, up.
And I got a Visa Gold with a $1,000 credit line and no savings deposit. No card helps you build your credit faster. And because I was responsible, I got the credit I deserve.
And nothing feels like gold in the palm of your hand. I have a few cards in my wallet, but this is my first gold card. And with Providian, my credit just keeps getting better. You know,
gold means a higher credit line and more perks. Hey, people treat you differently when you have a gold card, but nothing compares to the prestige of
Platinum. I got a great rate, high credit line, and no annual fee. This is definitely the Visa card for me. Which one's right for you?
At Providian, it's never been easier to get the credit you deserve. Whether it's Visa Classic, Gold, or Platinum, you're just a phone call away. Providian will work hard to give you the Visa card that's right for you. Call now to apply right over the phone. Visa from Providian. We approve.
The fall colors of mid-October in East Lansing. And into the sellout crowd here at beautiful Spartan Stadium. First down for Wisconsin from its 20-yard line. They've got all of 10 yards of offense. Michael Bennett looking for room. Nowhere to go. Thomas Wright, the strong safety. And again, Bill Miller, the defensive coordinator, Randy, talked yesterday about playing his safeties one up and one back, alternating back and forth. This is the play they were most concerned about, the stretch play with Michael Bennett.
They're going to bring these safeties up and play them as linebackers. They bumped their corners, forcing Wisconsin to throw the ball, and when Wisconsin's tried, they haven't had any success.
Take a look at the play chart there. Second down, about 11 yards to go for the Badgers. Nick Davis in motion. Bollinger looking to roll out. Bollinger avoiding one tackler after another. Now he's got all kinds of running room. Across the 40, to the 50, to the 45-40, and he's jumped out from behind by Thomas Wright and pulled down. Biggest play of the game, 44 yards to the 36-yard line of Michigan State.
Michigan State coming after Bollinger. The rollout right here, away from the pressure. And when he breaks the tackle right here and then puts that move on, there's nobody yet back there with pursuit, and it takes Wright to chase him down. And sometimes when you're struggling offense, this is the kind of play that lets you know there is some hope out there. We can create some things, and we'll see if they can carry this over.
9 yards was all they totaled before that play of 44 yards. First down, football just short of the 35-yard line of Michigan State. And the give to Faulkner. Eddie Faulkner trying to find some sledding up the middle. Following his blocking of that Wisconsin line, he gets about 4 yards. Josh Thornhill on the stop. Take a look at this. No surprise. Bollinger likes to get out of the pocket and make things happen. He's moving up on those career leaders on the Wisconsin quarterback rushing chart. And somewhere on that chart is Randy Wright. You were the immovable object, weren't you?
We threw the ball a lot back.
Yes, I understand. You ran more, as you say, conventional offense. Here's Bennett up the middle. You know what I think it was, Randy? I think it was all those darn sacks. You know, they subtracted all that yardage from your rushing total.
You know, wherever this conversation goes, it's not going to be good for me, so we'll just move on.
Are you going to go on to analyze that last play of about 4 yards?
We'll go on and look at the fact that Wisconsin is not going to beat Michigan State with the Brooks Bollinger types of scrambles. They're going to have a successful play like that, but it's going to come down to their offensive line starting to execute in a better way than what they've shown this first quarter and a half.
Badgers haven't converted a third down yet today. Bennett. Not going to do it there. Thornhill responds, but really give the line credit. It looked like they got a good push, and he had to hurdle a either tackler or blocker to get to the outside.
And what you do is you give your linebackers the room to come up there and make the play. When you're keeping those offensive linemen away from your linebackers' legs, you got to count on your linebackers to make plays, and Thornhill did a nice job.
Looks like Josh Shaw down on the play. And again, all afternoon, Randy, that Michigan State front has been pushing the Wisconsin line back into the offensive backfield. And Josh Shaw, Jay Saylor, two of the better defensive tackles in college football. One of the best combinations, certainly in the Big Ten. A few weeks ago, they combined for 21 tackles between them against Notre Dame.
See, against this team, this is not a player you want to miss. He leads their defensive linemen in tackles, an excellent run stopper. And what this injury timeout will also do is it gives Wisconsin a chance to think about what they want to do now on fourth down. I'm sure they will wind up going for it, but it gives them extra time to think about what play they want to run.
And Josh is up, walking off under his own power, a little bit of a limp. We'll try to jog it off. See if we can pick up where the injury occurred.
Take a look. He's going to be in the middle of the line, just to the right there, fighting off the double team. And just a bunch of players fall on top of you.
Shaw, 3 tackles and a sack here today. Fourth down conversions for the season. That's what the Badgers do. 40%. Bollinger on the rollout. Now takes it himself. Gets the first down inside the 25-yard line. Biggest weapon for Wisconsin here today offensively has been Bollinger scrambling, and he gets 5 there.
Some of the success that he has is because Michigan State is coming after him aggressively, and don't look for Michigan State to stop that. Nice job right there by Bollinger, knowing he only needs a yard for the first down. Good coverage downfield, tucks the ball, puts a good move on, and picks it up. Good, smart play.
When they drive it a long ways, they usually score. 11 touchdowns off long drives this season. Here's Bennett to the outside. Bennett, a little stop and go, and look at this. Inside the 5-yard line. Oh, what a move by Bennett. He just froze everyone. Richard Brown brought him down. First and goal on a 20-yard gain.
When you go back to that comment you just had, most of those long drives have become long Michael Bennett runs, not necessarily sustained drives. Excellent move right there to stop and let the momentum go, stay in bounds, turn what should have been a very small gain into a very big play.
That's a good point. I was talking long yardage drives, but you're right. A lot of that yardage has been gained on a play here or there. Another Spartan was shaken up on the play coming to the near sidelines. Richard Newsom. Newsom missed the last couple of weeks. He was injured. Missed the last 3 games, matter of fact, with a bruised quad.
Very successful in the red zone for the Badgers, but in 6 games to only be down there 13 times kind of tells you the key.
First and goal to go near the 2. Bollinger running option, not going to get to the end zone. Once again, good penetration. This time, Kyle Rasmussen first to the quarterback. Josh Thornhill, number 50, was also there.
Now's where, if you're Michigan State defensively, you start looking for Bollinger. You know he's a weapon to run the ball anywhere on the field, as he's shown this drive. Here's where Wisconsin likes to use him in the option, and yet Michael Bennett, when you think an option, you widen your stance up a little bit. That's where Michael Bennett has some success running inside also.
Inside of 6 minutes to go in the half. Wisconsin looking for its first score of the day. Second down and goal to go situation. The tight end in motion. Bennett trying to slice over off left guard, and he is short, or so it appears. Looked like Greg Taplin, the freshman defensive end, got over there for Michigan State.
Remember, you go back and you look at the 3rd and long Wisconsin had. Bollinger gets the long 44-yard run, and they've been able to sustain that and build off that. Michigan State defensively played very well today, but their confidence is not at an all-time high either. So this is something that Wisconsin has got to take advantage of and try and build on this.
Shaw back into the lineup for Michigan State. Quarterback keeper Bollinger, and he got it. Touchdown. The official on the far side, very definitive with his signal early on that play. Bollinger scores, and the Badgers are on the board.
You got to give Bollinger a lot of credit for that entire drive. He was the key. He was the guy that really took this offense on his back this drive and made the plays happen. Not much to this play right here. It gets a good surge by his offensive line, and by the time Thornhill, number 50, comes up there and hits him, he's in, and now Wisconsin can make this a game.
The extra point try by Pisetsky is right through the uprights.
The extra point is good.
So the Badgers, it took them a while to get on track, but they go 80 yards in 10 plays. The last yard, maybe the toughest yard, right here. Brooks Bollinger to Pater. We've got a ball game.
There. Time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Or join the National Football League. But wherever you go, let National Car Rental get you there fast. With special low rates on minivans for only $229.99 per week nationwide. Or only $289.99 per week in New York. National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Hey, Mr. Two Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Buy Quaker State and get a football hat or T-shirt from your favorite team.
Elevator's out. I walked up. Come on, it's too hot to play games. Oh, come on.
You're getting warmer. You're getting hotter. You're burning up. You're getting colder. You're getting colder. You're freezing.
Coors Light, frost brewed at the edge of freezing.
You're an iceberg.
Take a look at the score. Wisconsin back to within 3 on an 80-yard, 10-play drive that took 5 minutes and 18 seconds. All of it on the ground. 51 of those rushing yards from Brooks Bollinger.
Couple of pass plays called. Nothing there, though. Bollinger ducked it, so that's why all of them on the ground.
Herb Haygood from the 1. Good coverage by the Badgers. Haygood won't make the 15-yard line. Looks like Ryan Marks got there first on the play, and it'll be first down coming up for Michigan State, 11-yard return. I'd like to take a moment to thank our corporate partners, Kemper Funds, long-term investing in a short-term world. Value City Department Stores and Value City Furniture Stores get the home team advantage. And by 7-Up, make 7-Up yours. Injured Spartan down on the field for Michigan State, and looked like Travis Wilson, a backup fullback who has played a role here today both on special teams and in the offensive backfield, is helped up. Jim Barber's been like chasing ambulances down on the Michigan State sidelines. What can you tell us, Jim?
Yeah, guys, this is a mass unit, and coming into this game, they were concerned about some of the injuries they've had in the season so far. Josh Shaw is okay. The tackle did get in on the last defensive series before Bollinger got the touchdown, but it is his left knee that they're concerned about. He's injured before, and when somebody fell on him, he was just a little bit more scared than anything that actually had happened.
First down, Michigan State. Here comes Duckett into a crowd for short yardage out to the 15. Mike Gleason in the Phillips 66 studio with an update on Minnesota and Ohio State.
Well, Wayne, Ron Johnson set a school record with a touchdown catch for Minnesota, but Jonathan Wells comes right back. It was 17-3. Wells makes it to 17-9. They kick the extra, 17-10, but Minnesota just added 3 more. It's 20-10, 8:50 to go before halftime, Wayne.
Mike, I tell you, I'm shocked. Minnesota's got 20 points on the board against that defense, as well as Ohio State played a week ago in Madison. Now, once again, tough run by Duckett. There has not been a lot of yardage. We started the day telling you about 2 of the best running backs in the country, and indeed Michael Bennett and T.J. Duckett are just that, but they have been snuffed out pretty good by these defenses so far.
Well, when you have a good running back on your own team, you go against him in practice like both these teams do. You're used to that kind of an offense. We also talked about the team that opens this up a little bit, gets the passing game involved, is going to have the best chance to win. Michigan State has done that more than Wisconsin has, and that's why they've got the lead.
Wisconsin's defense has held Duckett to 51 yards on 12 carries so far today. Third down. Van Dyke over the top. Baker had it. Bounces off him. Intercepted on the play by Mike Eccles. Here comes Eccles back the other way, and Wisconsin's got the football inside the Michigan State 30-yard line. Tell you what, that thing was bouncing around out there like a pinball.
Chris Baker, one of the sure-handed receivers for Michigan State, just drops this ball, gives it away. Good protection, nice read by Van Dyke, and really throws a very nice ball. A little bit behind Baker. That one just gets, as you said, sometimes it bounces right for you, and Eccles going after the ball, just in the right spot at the right time. And when your offense is struggling, nothing like a break like this to give your offense that kind of confidence, as well as excellent field position.
Carlise Clark put the hit on the play that helped to trigger that ball loose even further, and now Eddie Faulkner coming back off left guard, fights for yardage inside the 25-yard line near the 23, a gain of about 4 yards. Thomas Wright came up in coverage along with Richard Newsom for Michigan State. And as he mentioned to us, Bill Miller, the defensive coordinator of Michigan State, said he's going to load the box. Off turnovers, Wisconsin has had trouble converting. That is not good. Only 9 points off turnovers triggered by its defense.
In 1988 may have been an exceptional year, but to only have 9 this year is amazing.
Newsom heading off, shaken up on the previous play. Those trainers have had a busy day running to and from the field here today.
And Newsome is just making his first start today after missing the last couple of weeks with an injury.
Second down coming up. Barry Alvarez and company. Maybe their opportunity to take the lead here in this football game. They got down 10-0 early in the first quarter. Bennett trying to bounce to the outside. And again, the Spartans had it pretty well diagnosed. He gets maybe 3 yards down to the 20-yard line. Jay Saylor was in the hole to meet him.
One thing both of these coaching staffs were well aware of is that neither team has played well on either side of the ball. So you really question the confidence, both when you do well, how much is it going to help you, and when you don't do well, how much are you going to lose and how much are you going to give up. And it's something that both coaches felt they wanted to get on a good start, but a play like that, the turnover, gives Wisconsin excellent field position. Michigan State defense has got to come out and stop them.
Third down and about 4. Bennett gets the call, and he is short of the first down. Got inside the 20 to the 18 on a gain of a couple of yards. Well, once again, he had a lot of company. Michigan State defense swarming to the football. Matt Croft, who got a start here today. An unusual alignment by Bill Miller and the Spartan defense. In on that tackle. Fourth down and about a yard to go coming up.
Wisconsin looked as though they were ready to send their field goal unit on the field. Now with the timeout, they may be rethinking whether or not they do want to kick it. It's a good yard short. It's a pretty strong wind out there and a swirling wind. And Vitaly Pisetsky has not been the most consistent kicker this year.
Not this year. Last year he was outstanding. Best kicker in the Big Ten. But this year it's been a little bit of a struggle. And matter of fact, you go right back to just last week and he missed a 62-yarder right at the end of the first half and had a 52-yard field goal blocked in that ball game against Ohio State. So the Badgers are going to go for it.
And with Bollinger and his ability to run, look for them to get him on the outside in some way.
Double tight ends out of a straight eye. Bollinger takes it himself. And he's close to that first down. Bollinger 6'2", 203. Strong athlete. And it's a first down.
How's that for getting him on the outside some way?
Outside of what? Outside of the left cheek of the center. Let's see this.
Well, this is where you just have to tell your offensive line, it's up to you to get it. And I think Bollinger saw a little crease in there because he hit that quickly, and there was more room than what Bobby Williams and the Michigan State defense had intended to give. There was maybe a misalignment or something in there.
I beg your pardon. You went off the right side of the center. First down. Just outside the 15. Bennett trying to get to the outside. Once again, this time Hill, the cornerback, came up to turn that play back inside to the pursuit of the defense. And Mark Goebel, Richard Newsome on the stop.
This is a very key drive here for this Michigan State defense. They played very well in this first quarter, yet they give up a score here, this first half. They give up a score here, and they're going to go in halftime down, and that's going to play games with them. They need to stop Wisconsin from getting in the end zone.
Coming up next week on many of these ESPN Plus stations, the Ohio State Buckeyes, who went into this afternoon's action undefeated, led by Steve Balisari. Wells on a score. He scored today. Kevin Casper and the upset-minded Iowa Hawkeyes provide the opposition in Iowa City, Iowa. Check your local listings for the time in your area. This is the remaining schedule for the top 8 teams who are undefeated. Ohio State's, look at that, their opponents 55.9% is the winning percentage of the remainder of the opponents on the Ohio State schedule. If I have that correctly, sometimes our graphics people speak in terms way above my head, but that's not hard. You can do that easily.
But when all 5 passes you've thrown have been incomplete, no wonder they're going to stay on the ground. Especially with the success they've had here in the second quarter, and mostly with Brooks Bollinger.
Yeah, now, and again, Randy, we've heard it several times with the officials' microphones when he's announced penalties. The wind is really blowing hard, and it's swirling down on the stadium floor. Second down. Penalty markers all over this play early, holding it up. That would tend to lead you to believe it's against the offense. Perhaps a false start.
Right to the snap. False start. on the offense. 5-yard penalty, down remains number 2.
Time now for the HotJobs.com Where Are They Now? Pat Richter was an All-America wide receiver in both 1961 and 62. He led the nation in receiving in 1961 and played on Wisconsin's Big Ten championship squad of 1962. He's currently Wisconsin's athletic director. And that man's boss. Maybe the only man that's... Second down. About 14 yards to go. Bollinger looked left quickly. Now lost for the end zone. Got a man out there. Pass caught out of play, incomplete. Chambers ran out of real estate. Cedric Henry on the coverage.
Nice job by Cedric Henry, knowing where he was on the field. Chambers looked like he got by him early, but nice job by Henry just to run him out of bounds, stay in good position. Good play.
So third down now for Wisconsin. They are 1 of 7 on third downs.
And you got to be careful if you're Brooks Bollinger here. You don't want to force something. You don't want to turn the ball over. You've got your team in a position to tie this game up going into halftime.
3 receivers set. Slot to the bottom of your screen out of the eye. Davis in motion. Bollinger to the air. Bollinger had Chad Coons open early in that pattern underneath, but didn't throw it to him, and takes the sack back near the 22-yard line. Third sack of the day. Barry Alvarez doesn't appear to be very happy at all.
Well, I think he realized that he had a good pass pattern called down there, and yet Bollinger still doesn't get time to throw. When you're putting that kind of pressure on Bollinger with just 4, you're not going to have a lot of open receivers down there, and you're just taking the passing game out of your quarterback's hands.
So Bollinger departs for the moment. Vitaly Pisetsky comes on.
I mean, this is not an easy field goal. He's only 7 for 13 this year, but with this wind swirling, as you said, this is by no means a gimme.
And they are going to let the clock wind down as far as they can as we are concluding this first half. And they'll stop the clock with 6 seconds to go. Pisetsky came in as a Luke Rosa Award candidate. Former Russian immigrant, earned his U.S. citizenship this summer, played soccer for the Soviet Army Sports Club before coming to the U.S. Last year, consensus All Big Ten kicker. Randy, you mentioned he's been somewhat inconsistent this year. Inconsistent compared to last year, where at one point last year he made 14 consecutive field goals. Coming up on the National Car Rental Halftime Report from the Phillips 66 studio, we'll have highlights of Michigan Northwestern, Minnesota in the process, at least leading Ohio State, unbeaten Ohio State at the moment. Highlights and stats with Mike Leeson coming up. National Car Rental Halftime Report from the Phillips 66 studio. So the final 4 seconds of this first half. Pisetsky will try a 39-yard field goal. They may call it officially 38, but that's what they're going to do. Place it down just beyond the 28-yard line strike. 38-yard attempt, 10 to the end zone. Stemke on the hole. He's got it on its way. And he hooks it through the uprights. It is good, and we are tied as we reach halftime. Each side went on a 10-point run. Michigan State in the first quarter, Wisconsin in the second quarter, and appropriately we are tied at 10 apiece. 8 plays for the Wisconsin Badgers as they cash in on the turnover just prior to halftime on the interception. Halftime in East Lansing, lots of excitement.
How's it going?
Well, the university's helping me launch my new business plan, and my biochem teacher discovered a new pain reliever that may work 10 times better than aspirin. And my animation project, I'm getting calls from the coast.
Wow. What an amazing semester.
Semester? That's Tuesday.
Freshman.
The University of Wisconsin. It's going to be a great century.
CSS is your source for college football in the Southeast. Friday is Alabama night. Catch the best action Alabama schools have to offer. At 6:30, the Watson Brown Show brings you a half hour of in-depth Blazers football. Watch all season long as CSS brings you the best Alabama football games. Find it every Friday starting at 5 Eastern.
Hi, I'm Watson Brown from UAB. You're watching CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast.
There's this thing going around called sniffing. You think you're getting high, but the dizzy, fuzzy feeling is just what happens when your brain doesn't get oxygen. The chemicals get in the way. So it's like you're not breathing. That's how sniffing causes brain damage and death. So when you think you're sniffing, your brain thinks you're drowning. And your brain is pretty much right.
Today's Big Ten telecast is brought to you by Polaris. Leave your stress behind and take time to get away. Polaris, the way out. Quaker State Motor Oil for protection beyond 3,000 miles. National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go. HotJobs.com. Hot Jobs. Onward, upward.
Welcome to the National Car Rental Halftime Report, brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Halftime in East Lansing, Michigan, while the Badgers and the Spartans, both winless in the Big Ten, fighting for that first victory in the 2000 season. They are deadlocked at 10-10. The second half should be a dandy. Welcome back to the Phillips 66 studio with Drew Brees resetting the Big Ten record books and produced 32-31 come-from-behind win over Michigan last week. You would think the Boilermakers would get top billing in their game with Northwestern today, but the Wildcats have the attention of most college football fans, and they go into this one ranked higher. The Cats are 18th, Purdue 21st. Damian Anderson with back-to-back 200-yard games. Damian Anderson capping off a 76-yard drive, first possession, Northwestern up 7-0. Here comes Brees and Vinny Sutherland, 80-yard drive. It's tied at 7-7. Now Zach Kustoff, plenty of time. Teddy Johnson over the middle. He's in 14-7, Cats on top. Here comes Drew Brees again. John Standiford. He looks right, comes back to his second receiver. He goes up, and Standiford pulls in the 7-yard touchdown catch. 14-14, and that's where they stand now. 1:44 to go before halftime. The Wildcats have averaged 45 points a game in conference games. Anderson with 7 touchdown runs of 30 or 30-plus yards, but right now they're deadlocked at 14. Homecoming in Columbus for the 5-0 Buckeyes. Minnesota hoping to rain on their parade, and you know what? They just might do it. It's 3-0 when Jermaine Mays blocks V.J. Sanders' punt, and then they capitalize. Travis Cole, play action, back to the end zone, tight end, Scooter Bogus, 10-0 Gophers on top. Now it's 17-3 when Jonathan Wells finds an opening, and he pounds his way into the end zone. That made it 17-10. And right now, as we light up that scoreboard, look at that, Minnesota 23-10. The Gophers haven't won in the horseshoe, but let's just say they're 0-15 since 1949. Their last win over Ohio State was 1981, and right now, 3:47 to go before halftime, and the 5th-ranked Buckeyes, the only unbeaten team left in the Big Ten, trailing by 13 points. And later today, Illinois and Iowa. John Butcher, 72 passes since taking over. The freshman quarterback has yet to throw an INT. The Illini, they've dropped 6 straight homecoming games, so keep an eye on there. Coming up at 3:30, last year, Michigan escaped with a 34-31 win. Michigan has blown double-digit leads in their last 3 games. Losses to UCLA, Purdue, and, of course, Illinois from last year. They'll kick it from Ann Arbor at 3:30. Southern Miss comes in at number 16 this week, playing at Tulane, and we'll pick it up with Patrick Ramsey. He drops back, but he throws the pick. That's Leo Barnes on the receiving end. And, boy, that Southern Miss defense has been tough this year. Now, Dwayne Woods, he finds a lane, cuts back against the grain. This one will go 34 yards for the touchdown, and this will give Southern Miss a 7-0 lead on Tulane. Southern Miss has held each of the last 4 opponents to 7 points or less. As a matter of fact, they lead the nation in scoring defense at 7 points a ball game. Right now, it's Southern Miss 28, Tulane 10. in the SEC. Vandy and Georgia, 13-9 Vandy on top. Now, the Bulldogs seem to be back after losing to South Carolina. And but you know what? Last week after beating Tennessee, Georgia fans trampled the famed hedges. Right now they're playing between a chain link fence. And you know what? They're losing 13-9, 2:40 to go in the first. South Carolina, the only team to beat Georgia this year. All right, taking on Arkansas. Rod Stinson hits the wall. He stops shy of the first down. USC gets the football. Phil Petty to Brian Scott. Big first down here. Same drive. It's Petty again. Rolling right. And this time it's Scott. Not the first down, but the touchdown for the Gamecocks. South Carolina goes up 7-0. And that's where they stand now. 9:35 to go. Fighting Irish and Navy, they are playing in Orlando. It's 24-0 in that ball game. And after surviving a double overtime win over Pittsburgh, Syracuse and Chestnut Hill taking on Boston College, it is 13-6 Boston College at halftime. Wake Forest and Georgia Tech, George Godsey opened up 7 for 7, 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. Georgia Tech all over Wake, 35-14, 54 seconds to go before halftime. Halftime in East Lansing, it's Michigan State 10, Wisconsin 10. The National Car Rental Halftime Report continues right after this.
How to speak Australian. Monday. Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
New batteries. Liquid wrench. Autocraft battery cables. AC Delco alternators. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
You know, we can give you a free installation if you like. Sure.
Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
How to speak Australian. Remote control. Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
As the national leader in study abroad, we offer our students quite a choice. 140 academic programs in more than 50 countries. But no matter which one they choose, no matter where on earth they decide to go, they find, as do the people who ultimately hire them, that it's an extraordinary investment of time.
Are you one of the millions of American males who would like increased sexual energy? If you've been considering Viagra as a solution, consider something different. All-natural Enerx. Clinical studies show various ingredients of Enerx enhance sexual energy, increasing desire, performance, and satisfaction. Enerx is all-natural with no side effects. With Enerx, you'll feel the increased energy within minutes and with no chemicals. We're so sure you and your mate will be completely satisfied. We'll offer you a 30-day, no questions asked, full refund. Enerx stimulates sexual energy by expanding the blood vessels, causing increased blood flow to specific areas of the body. Unleash the power of Enerx now.
Call 1-800-248-0072 toll-free, and it will be delivered discreetly to your home. Get results using the safe, all-natural alternative, Enerx.
National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. Time to check to see who's the latest Polaris wideout of the week. Purdue's Vinny Sutherland came out and said if the Boilermakers didn't beat Michigan, they'd have an attitude problem in West Lafayette. Well, Purdue beat Michigan, and Vinny came through with 11 grabs for 127 yards and sprinted to that touchdown. Sutherland leads the Big Ten in receiving yards per game with 103. He's the only Big Ten player to crack the century mark in receiving yards on a weekly basis. Vinny Sutherland of Purdue is this week's Polaris wideout of the week. Welcome back to our Phillips 66 Big Ten studio. The college basketball season is a lot closer than most of us realize. At Iowa, the women's team has a new coach who has a player who can score both on the court as well as the classroom. The type of player that makes the coach's life a little bit easier. It's a good thing Iowa junior Lindsey Meter played so many minutes last year. After all, this season, her workload is going to be even more under first-year Hawkeye coach Lisa Bluter.
The Hawkeyes are looking to improve on their 9-17 record from last year, and Lindsey figures to have a prominent role in the rebuilding. Meter led the team in scoring with a 19-point average, second highest in the Big Ten. Also has made 109 career three-pointers, just 9 shy of the school record held by Nadine Doman. But her success on the court is not the only achievement Lindsey has made. Lindsey was also a GTE Academic All-American last year with a perfect 4-point GPA. For Lindsey, excelling in the classroom is a must.
I'm only guaranteed 2 more years ever in my life to play basketball. And so I knew that coming into college. I knew that I was only guaranteed 4 years. And because of that, I knew that I would have to excel in the classroom to extend that past college.
And while being successful on and off the court is important, there are some differences.
If I could categorize the two, I'd say the finishing second and scoring is a lot more fun than the GTE Academic All-American. But both I have to work extremely hard at. Both are huge priorities in my life, and I think that that's kind of what helps me out.
Coach Bluter knows when she took over the Hawkeye program, she got a special player in Meter.
She's the epitome of what you would love to have surround your basketball team. If you had a dozen Lindsey Meters, you would be playing for the national championship every year. I really believe that. She is what you want as far as an academic student, picking one of the most challenging majors here at the University of Iowa in pre-medicine, and then excelling at the top of her class in that major. And then on the floor, doing everything she can possibly do to make herself a great basketball player.
In order for Lindsey to be the type of player and student that she wants to be, balance is the key.
Only on E. Job of capitalizing on a few of the Michigan State mistakes. The roughing the punter, which gave them the first down, and then the interception, they turned into 3 points.
Take a look at those highlights for you. And again, it began with Michigan State early in the ball game. They got an opening field goal, and then this pass play right here. Herb Haygood got behind the defense, and Van Dyke able to find him for the touchdown. Meanwhile, Wisconsin roared right back into it. Brooks Bollinger capping an 80-yard drive, the final yard on that play. And then watch this interception here, Randy. Intended for Baker, the tight end. It ricochets off, and the Badgers come back the other way. Mike Eccles on the intercept, and it turns into a field goal to tie the ball game late in the first half.
Take a look at the first half stats here. Wisconsin, 6 first downs to 10. Second quarter yards. It was very lopsided in favor of Michigan State in the first quarter. Second quarter, Wisconsin got back into it, and most of those yards, Wayne, are coming from Brooks Bollinger on the ground.
Although the quarterback has not completed a pass as of yet, he nonetheless has had a huge impact on this game. Michigan State doing much better in third down conversions, especially on their touchdown drive earlier today.
And one of the reasons right there, Wisconsin on first down, 1.6 yards. That's terrible, but Michigan State, 7.2. Haven't really converted many of those as they dropped a sure touchdown pass, which could have put them ahead 17-0, and then they had the turnover, which led to Wisconsin's field goal.
We mentioned to you at the outset of the program today that the team that might throw it best would survive here today. Badgers haven't completed a pass yet, but their quarterback, Brooks Bollinger, is keeping them afloat with 40 scrambling yards and a touchdown.
Hey, Steve, throw me Miller Lite. Throw me Miller Lite. Throw me Miller Lite. Throw me Miller Lite. Dustin the remote. Hey, Peanuts.
Grab the unbreakable plastic bottle from Miller Lite.
I'm such a klutz.
I'm Dan. It's Miller time.
I'm okay.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at BowflexDirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex, Who said change isn't easy?
Being part of a team makes a big difference for these girls. Thing is, when the going gets tough, the tough go. When I look in their eyes, I can see how much they look up to me. It's a lonely job. Every one of these girls has a dream. It's my job to help them dream big.
This Big Ten telecast is brought to you by Beck's, a beer apart. Red Roof Inns. For affordable rates at over 350 inns nationwide, call 1-800-RED-ROOF or look online at redroof.com. Citgo, proud to support the hometown team and hometowns across America. And BMW. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW Center. Clouds beginning to overcast the afternoon here, but nonetheless a beautiful day in East Lansing for college football. Michigan State, Wisconsin. Jim Barber earlier had a chance to talk with Bobby Williams, the head coach at Michigan State.
Bobby, your team, you said you wanted them to throw the football more. You were pretty effective like that with the first half.
Well, you know, we had some guys open, and more unfortunately, we dropped that pass, and I had the other guy open there and got the turnover at the lead, right at the end of the half.
We've seen a number of Spartans go down from time to time injury-wise. What about the health of your football team at this point?
Well, that's been the nature of the whole season. You know, we've had guys hurt going into the season, and, you know, we got a lot of guys in there sucking it up and playing injured. So I'm proud of them. We just got to get things together, get them on the second half.
Finally, defensively, the job you're doing on Bennett so far, how would you assess that?
Well, you know, this guy, he can go the distance anytime. We just got to keep it up.
All right, thanks for your time, Bobby.
All right, guys.
Take a look at the halftime leaders, and again, nothing through the air for Wisconsin. It's all come on the ground, including Bollinger. Bennett, 52 yards. I'd say these two running backs we talked about, when you can hold Duckett to 51 yards and a half and Bennett to 52 yards and a half, you've done a pretty good job.
Been a good job defensively. Duckett didn't play as much. He had the hip pointer, came back at the end of the second quarter, though, and appears to be okay. But both defenses committed to stop this run, and I still think it's going to be the passing game that opens this game up.
All season long, Wisconsin has struggled to get off to a good start offensively, and today was no exception. Their last two possessions resulted in the 10 points.
You know, Wayne, at least Wisconsin survived that, though. This could have gotten really ugly had Michigan State not dropped that touchdown pass and gone up 17-0. Wisconsin survived that, got themselves back into it. Now they have a brand new game, 10-10, and they're getting the ball.
And, you know, that's the other factor, that things seem to have changed. The momentum changed completely when Herb Haygood could not rein in that over-the-shoulder catch. And now the kickoff by David Schaefer. And this one from the 8-yard line. Here comes Nick Davis. Breaks one tackle. There are penalty markers down. Lorenzo Guess wraps him up with help from Jeremy Farrow. Near the 20-yard line, a 13-yard return, but again, penalty marker down early. Holding the call against Wisconsin. Well, we mentioned Brooks Bollinger has not been able to get it done through the air like most quarterbacks do, but take a look at this run here. 45 yards. Right now, it's the biggest play of the day for Wisconsin. It accounted for 45 of the 80 yards on the touchdown drive. Take a look at this one right here. A little cutback move. Bollinger able to get yardage on a key third down there. And then the final yard of that drive for the touchdown.
When a lot of times your leaders develop under pressure, and Bollinger has been the guy that has stood up, although he's not starting this second half right now, as we see Jim Sorgi taking over at the quarterback position. Bollinger may have been shaken up.
It's a bit of a surprise if Bollinger isn't shaken up. Chambers the man in motion, and Jim Sorgi on first down to Michael Bennett. Josh Thornhill filled the hole and brings him down after a gain of maybe 2 yards out near the 13-yard line.
One thing a little different here, Wayne, Wisconsin deferred when they won the toss, chose to take the ball to start the second half. Michigan State gave them the wind as well as the ball. Michigan State wants the wind in the fourth quarter, so they gave them the wind and the ball. Confidence in their defense that they can stop them here.
Redshirt freshman Jim Sorgi, USA Today honorable mention All-America. You get a look at his numbers from his high school days. 2nd down and 8 for Wisconsin. Sorgi in the pocket, good protection, drills it into Martinelli, the tight end, just short of the first down to the 20-yard line. Quick coverage provided by Richard Newsom.
Trying to take advantage of the wind at their backs, calling a pass play here. Sorgi gets excellent protection, delivers a nice pass there to Martinelli, making his first catch of the day for any Wisconsin receiver.
First completion, as you mentioned, and Sorgi. It's a 3rd down, about a yard to go coming up. Chad Coons is the fullback in front of Michael Bennett, the tailback. Bennett forced to the outside by Hill. Unable to cut back. Matter of fact, lost a yard. Randy, all day, excellent pursuit by Michigan State to the outside, and not just from the linebacking core, but I think the cornerbacks have done a very good job of getting up there.
Absolutely. Good point, Wayne. You can't let Bennett get going and get his momentum downhill. You've got to stop him, and with the pursuit coming to the outside, turning him back inside, the angles are cut down by your inside players in that pursuit, and they're just not giving him anywhere to run.
Kevin Stemke on in punt formation. In zone view. Here's the snap, a low snap. Stemke able to get the kick away, and this is Foster trying to reverse field. Foster, penalty markers down. Got to be for an illegal block. Foster tumbles down across the 45. Boy, when you see a return man reverse field that extraordinary, you generally have someone out of position on a block, and 45-yard punt. Did a lot of running back there. East and West didn't get a whole lot on the return, but nonetheless, the penalty would have knocked it out anyway. Take a look at this here. See if we can pick it up. There's the chance. He almost lost his own footing. There's the illegal block right there. Break in the action. Will return to East Lansing after these messages in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, she left a signal. Looks like they're at it again. Miller Lite? We should just get a room. Do you hear that? Oh, she's gonna be sore after this one.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how was yoga? Great.
Getting together after class? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Yeah, I think I pulled something.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Pebble, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
You know me. What do guys do when they think no one's looking? Now, what do guys do when they think someone will be looking? They shop at Value City Department Store. There's just about every name brand you can think of at prices so low, they'll surprise you. You know, like 20 to 70% off department store prices. Of course, guys get real deals at Value City, but guys will still be guys.
To everyone who flies United, a world of thanks for your business.
A 10-10 football game. Bad news for Brooks Bollinger. He is out the rest of the game, guys. He has a concussion, and he's in a lot of discomfort as we speak.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Well, with the beating he has taken all season, it's amazing that he hasn't gone out with an injury earlier than the 7th game.
So Barry Alvarez, perhaps the task just got a little more difficult here in a 10-10 ball game in East Lansing. And Michigan State first down. Penalty on the illegal block. Backs it up to the 20-yard line. That's Haygood in motion. Duckett hit the hole hard. Hit it quickly. Keeps those legs churning. And it's brought down near the 25, gain of 5 yards. Roger Knight led the way. First half possessions for Michigan State. And after a 1-2-3 and out, a long drive to a field goal, and then the touchdown. You mentioned that field goal significant because Michigan State has had long drives this season where they have gone deep into enemy territory into the red zone and oftentimes come out with nothing.
And one of those that ended in a punt, they had that drop touchdown, and then they have the interception. So 2 bad drives to end that first half.
Duckett finding his way to the 31-yard line, a gain of 6 and a first down. Jose and Carlise Clark collaborate on the stop.
But Duckett just doesn't look like he's getting the yards that he is. It looks like it's all closed up, and all of a sudden he comes out and he's got 5 yards.
Duckett also, Randy, is the type of runner that he relies somewhat on his vision to see the opening and to get through it, get to it. Number one, he has very quick feet for a big man. Option, this is what was so effective in the early going of the ball game. Duckett to the outside, look at that speed. Outran McGrew, or I should say Ben Herbert, and Wendell Bryant to the corner. Clark forced him out.
Wayne, you mentioned his quick feet. He's got excellent speed, runs the 40 and 4.4, and he's averaging 6 yards per carry. Now, this is a guy that's 6'1", 255 pounds, runs a lot of inside plays, but yet is averaging that kind of yardage. Boy, he's just a good mixture of strength and speed.
Second down, 2 yards. 2nd and 2 now for Michigan State. You got a slot to the top of your screen. Out of that slot, here comes Herb Haygood. But Duckett gets the call. A little hesitation move, slanted to his right just a bit, just enough to get the first down. Well, it is homecoming here in East Lansing, as we've mentioned several times today. Homecoming parade, the Grand Marshal. Tom Izzo, the head coach with his wife Lupe, head coach of the basketball squad, the national champions. And the theme, the main event, theme of Midnight Madness last night, Charlie Bell back from the championship team. Zach Randolph, the big guy, number 50, freshman in from Indiana. And just some of the action last night over at the Breslin Center. Midnight Madness basketball practice underway. Van Dyke picks up about 3 to the 46-yard line. Roger Knight on the stop for Wisconsin.
He only picked up 3 yards, but it was more like 7 or 8 when it looked as though he were going to be trapped for a negative play. Van Dyke doesn't have quite the experience that a Bollinger has running the option. It's not quite a natural thing for him, but they're doing a nice job of spreading that Wisconsin defense out. They've got Wisconsin thinking outside now, see if they can run Duckett or the tailback they have in there at the time inside the tackle.
2nd down and 7. Dortch on the carry. Tyrell Dortch for short yardage, maybe a yard. To the sidelines, Jim Barber and a special guest.
The coach of the national champions, Tom Izzo, who was the ring announcer last night in the tuxedo, and of course the boxing theme with the guys coming out in the great robes. I guess Muhammad Ali does have an influence on this program.
Well, he does, and yet it was our one night to have some fun, Jim, before all the work gets started.
And I don't see any rings around the eyes. You stayed up late last night with the practice, I understand.
Well, I got a 3-month-old son, so I'm getting used to the practice of not having any sleep.
Got a lot of good young players on this team to go with some of the veterans. How do you assess this year coming up?
Well, I think we got a chance to be awfully good. You know, the key will be whether we can develop the leadership and chemistry that we've had over the last 3 years. We had some incredible leadership in Mateen Cleaves, and that's always important for championship teams. Talent-wise, I think we've got a very talented team, and if we can put it all together, we got a chance.
We appreciate your time, and good luck this season defending the championship.
Well, thank you, Jim.
Tom Izzo, the Spartans, and back to the booth.
Thank you, Jim and Tom. Craig Jarrett back out in punt formation. Much better average than he had a week ago down in Iowa. And there is Nick Davis, ever dangerous, looking for the bust-out return. And what a time it would be for Wisconsin. Good leverage into this kick. Davis a fair catch signal, makes the catch at the 20-yard line. That's where the Badgers will take over. 9:33 left to go. 34-yard punt. We're third quarter tied at 10.
There's this thing going around called sniffing. You think you're getting high, but the dizzy, fuzzy feeling is just what happens when your brain doesn't get oxygen. The chemicals get in the way. So it's like you're not breathing. That's how sniffing causes brain damage and death. So when you think you're sniffing, your brain thinks you're drowning. And your brain is pretty much right.
Michigan State, Wisconsin tied at 10 apiece. That young fan at the edge of his seat, as are many in the crowd of better than 74,000. Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan, and a gorgeous afternoon for college football. Along with Jim Barber and Randy Wright, this is Wayne Larrabee. Great to have you with us today. Wisconsin takes over just beyond its 20-yard line to the 1st and 10. Quarterback Brooks Bollinger suffered a concussion, as Jim Barber reported moments ago, in the first half, and apparently will not return today. So it's up to redshirt freshman Jim Sorgi in his first game. And he hands it to Michael Bennett. And Bennett has had very little room to run thus far here today. Matt Kroft made the stop there. The two principals we spoke of early today, two of the best running backs in the country, well, they've been hemmed in pretty much. Duckett had some good yardage on the last Michigan State drive. Bennett getting his opportunity here.
Bennett's really going to have to emerge with Sorgi being in at quarterback. Bollinger's been the playmaker in that first half. He's gone. The seniors and the leaders have to help Sorgi out because now they don't have Bollinger to turn to.
Two tight ends in the lineup now, and Sorgi, maximum protection looking around. Sorgi able to thread the needle. Nicely done up across the 30-yard line. He got his tight end, Markinelli. Second time today he's able to hit him. 14-yard gain to a first down.
Nice job standing back here in the pocket. Then he buys some time moving to his right and throws a nice pass on the run, knowing he was going to get hit by Kropp. Excellent. Right into the zone. Good pass play. I think Sorgi's thrown 2 passes, had 2 completions here.
Both to Anelli. And the Badgers move the chains. First down to the 34. Play action. Sorgi able to elude one man and 2 others. Gets the pass away, and once again it's Anelli who fights for a first down. Samal Gordon had a shot at him initially back there, and it started raining Spartans in the offensive backfield, but Sorgi put up the umbrella and found his man for 12 yards.
Same pass play they've run with Bollinger, the bootleg, but this time Sorgi does a nice job of fighting back, creating room, keeping his eyes downfield, and then hits his man Anelli and picks up a key first down. Excellent play.
Badgers from their 41. Can't argue with those numbers to start the second half. Tied at 10 apiece. Third quarter in East Lansing. 2 teams trying to get off nasty losing streaks. Badgers have lost 3 in a row. The defending Big Ten champions. Bennett And they give him a crease off the right side of the offensive line, and the Spartans, as usual here today, float very quickly to the football. Josh Shaw, the defensive line, principal defender, gain of about 3 yards.
You don't expect Jim Sorgi to be that kind of a mobile quarterback, 6'5", 185 pounds, but yet he's scrambling around just buying some time. And if he can open up that defense a little bit with his passing, I think the running game can become effective the way Wisconsin needs it to be.
Chambers is on the bottom of your screen. Evans at the top. 2 tight ends, and that's what they've gone with primarily in the second half. Oh, he's got a man out there, and he overshot Lee Evans, incomplete across the 15-yard line. Boy, they had the coverage of Cedric Henry beating the pass off the mark. Time now for Do You Know Me? Brought to you by Citgo. You know a neighbor when you see one. I was an All-American at Michigan State in the late 1980s, holding school records for receptions and reception yardage for a career. Do you know me? Michigan State has done very well defensively in third downs. Wisconsin just 1 of 9 in third down conversions, and here they are. 3rd and 7 at the 49. Sorgi under a blitz to Evans down the sidelines. Great coverage provided on the play by Cedric Henry, who tipped it away across the 20-yard line.
Another excellent job of coverage by Cedric Henry, forcing Evans out of bounds, giving him no room. In fact, he could not have come back inbounds and caught this ball. Michigan State coming with the pressure up front. You see Evans there just coming in from out of bounds, and the official throwing the mark there, so that ball would have been nullified had it been caught anyway. But excellent coverage by Henry, forcing Evans to the sideline, giving him no room.
Stempke again in punt formation. Foster chasing, but this one sails out of bounds. It looked like it hit right about the 14-yard line, and that's where Michigan State will start. 1st and 10 when we resume. Well, the green defense has done a pretty good job on the Wisconsin Badgers thus far today.
Turtle Wax, Grizzly Grill Guards, Rancho Shocks, gas cans. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
We need some help. We need a lot of help.
Advance Auto Parts, the best part is our people.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Pebble, and I had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
You know me.
Michigan State, as promised, will play 2 quarterbacks here today. That second quarterback, true freshman Jeff Smoker from Manheim, Pennsylvania. He takes over on this series. First down just short of his 15. And Smoker comes out rolling. Smoker going to take it himself. Boy, I'd say he got twisted on that play. Gain of almost 10 yards, just short of the 25. Roger Knight got a piece of him. And take a look at the numbers on Smoker this season.
Played very well, as you said, a true freshman in a little different situation than Ryan Van Dyke. Even though Van Dyke's a junior, he hadn't played much until this year, then got hurt, where Smoker's actually got more experience. Different than the Wisconsin situation with Sorgi at quarterback. He's in because of an injury. We were told yesterday that both Michigan State quarterbacks had planned on playing.
2nd and short. Baker, the man in motion. And off to little John Flowers, who picks up the first down on a gain of 2. We haven't heard much about Purdue Northwestern. We get a second-half update from our Phillips 66 studio and Mike Gleason.
Well, Wayne, Drew Brees and the Boilermakers are back in the driver's seat. Brees, his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. 2nd to John Staniford. And right now, the Boilermakers go on top, 21-14, 11-10 to go, quarter number 3. Wayne?
Well, don't put it in the books yet. There's a lot of time for that Northwestern team. They get a lot of snaps off, don't they, in a ball game?
They do indeed, and they take advantage of most of them.
First down. Here comes Smoker again on the rollout. Smoker throws it away. Wisely so. His receiver, Haygood, was well covered. Randy, let me ask you about this. We've seen both sides doing this, and that is rolling the quarterback one way or the other. We know that with Bollinger, he's more comfortable rolling out of the pocket. But when you do that, don't you limit your options in the passing game for the quarterback?
Clearly, you limit your options, but you also limit his responsibilities. Take a look here. Excellent coverage by Fletcher. The contact, and then he keeps Haygood in front of him. But you do limit your options for your quarterback, but you simplify the reads. Neither one of these quarterbacks have a lot of confidence right now. They're trying to give easy completion.
You made a good point. You saw Fletcher bump the receiver. In the NFL, that would be called an illegal chuck, but not in college. As long as that receiver is in front of the defender, he can bump him on downfield. Here, they had Baker out there over the shoulder, catch across the 45 into Wisconsin territory. Clark made the stop, but a beautiful float from the quarterback, Jeff Smoker, 32 yards to Chris Baker.
Wayne, it all starts with the protection. Smoker had plenty of time to throw this ball, to let this play develop. And a beautiful catch by Baker. Comes into this game as their leading receiver, second leading receiver. They tried to get him involved unsuccessfully. Just a beautiful pass and a better catch. Oh, what a tough catch that was over the shoulder like that.
Oh, my goodness. That looked better on replay, didn't it?
It was excellent coverage, too. You really can't ask your guy to do any better than that.
First down in Wisconsin territory, the option. Duckett to the outside. And he rambles to the 34-yard line, maybe the 33 on a gain of 7. Clark getting Herbert in pursuit for Wisconsin on the stop. Second down and short coming up, second and about 3.
One thing that is easier for Michigan State with their 2 quarterbacks, they're both very similar. They both run the ball well. They throw it about the same, so you don't really have to change many of your plays. The option, if it worked in the first half with Van Dyke, they'll keep it with Smoker.
Foster in motion. Nothing there. They sent the fullback, Travis Wilson, in ahead of T.J. Duckett, but the posse was too big, and they headed him off at the pass. No gain. Third down coming up for Michigan State. And they'll bring the receiving team onto the field. Bring in Waters, the wide receiver, Marcus Waters, number 13. Bring on Herb Haygood again. Tyrell Dortch comes in at running back. And here we go. Third down for Michigan State. Their best opportunity thus far in the second half. And now they call time. Apparently running out of time on the play clock. Just over 4:06 left to go in this third quarter at a 10-10 ball game at Michigan State. Time now for the answer to Sitco's Do You Know Me? I was an All-America standout wide receiver at Michigan State in the late 80s and hold school records for receptions and reception yardage in a career. I am Andre Rison. Boy, they've had some great receivers and great individual players here at Michigan State over the years, and Andre Rison is one of them. I'd like to take a moment to thank our corporate partners. Kemper Funds long-term investing in a short-term world. Value City Department Stores and Value City Furniture Stores. Get the home team advantage. And 7-Up. Make 7-Up yours. Sparty's got something going here, but he is facing third down.
You hate to think of key plays coming in the third quarter with 4 minutes to go, but this is a big one right here for both these teams. Michigan State needs to be able to put some points on the board. They've had a nice drive going. Wisconsin can't afford to fall very far behind with their starting quarterback out the rest of this game, and they only have another 4 minutes with the wind at their back.
The third down conversion rate today is much better than the average for the season for Michigan State. Smoker again, running option, going to take it himself, skips his way, close to the first down near the 31-yard line. It'll depend on the spot of the ball, but it looks like a first down, Michigan State. Bryson gets linebacker, got over to make the stop. Smoker on the carry.
Little twist to the option, running it out of the shotgun this time. Wisconsin coming with a blitz to the right side, so Michigan State called it correctly. It looked as though Smoker could have turned this up and made this a little easier, but boy, that pursuit, when it comes in a hurry. He didn't make that by much.
Out in front of that play was Ben Herbert. He's the guy who really blew it up. It is a first down, Michigan State, 31-yard line. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the third, still tied at 10. Now the officials throw a flag on this one, delay of game. Michigan State taking too much time and getting the snap off.
5-yard penalty remains, first down.
First and 15.
Well, Morris Watts told us in last week's game, Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator for Michigan State, they had 11 penalties, 10 of them on their offense, 7 of them what they call undisciplined, the delay of games, illegal procedures, the foolish mistakes. That's got to be another one right there where they get some momentum, they get a key first down, an excellent field position, and an unforced error.
Well, and he felt most of those errors were correctable. You know, the false starts, things like that. And they felt they had a pretty good handle on that in practice this week. So first and 15. Smoker. On the run, Hago. Just short of the first down. Gain of about 14 yards. Out of bounds near the 21-yard line. Fletcher forced him out.
Nice job by Smoker, turning his shoulders upfield so he can throw this ball with some zip on it. A lot of times you try and throw the ball across your body as a young quarterback on the move and you don't get any zip. That time he turns those shoulders, throws a perfect pass. Haygood catches it right in front of Fletcher, going right after the All-American.
Second and short. And they're going to call for the chains, apparently. Bring those things all the way across to the far side. They've got the football spotted on the near sideline. We're out of our view, at least for a moment. And it's a little better angle. Let's see what happens when they pull the chains taut. If we get Sparty out of the picture, we'll be in good shape. What do you think, Randy? About 6 inches?
About 6 inches short is what they're going to do. Second down now. Perfect opportunity. Michigan State go play action. Try and get a quick strike right here. A big play off the play action. If not, with Duckett in the backfield, they may be content just to pound it at him.
Barry Alvarez stated several times this week, and his coaches mentioned to us, that this was one of the best weeks of practice they had. As a matter of fact, Tuesdays was the best practice Wisconsin has had since they broke camp. What does having good practices have to do with playing the game on the weekend? So often you hear a coach say that, and then his team comes out and loses the next week.
And Bobby Williams told us that the last couple of weeks. His teams have had great practices and haven't played well. Sometimes you just have to learn how to prepare, not leave it on the field. You get too up for practice, and you're a little flat during a game, especially when you only play 11 in college versus the 16 or 20 with preseason in the NFL.
Second and short. Smoker going to keep it himself? Why, I'm not sure. Wisconsin got good penetration up front on the interior of that line. Sprague down low, and Pelagi and Wendell Bryant, they may have to measure this again.
Well, there's an opportunity to really try and make something happen on second down.
And short. I can't agree with you more, Randy. We've seen several instances today where both teams have had second and short and have gone to a predictable either quarterback sneak or dive play with the tailback. And I'm thinking second and short, whatever happened to a little play action and dump the pass over the middle as the defense sucks in?
I think if it's third down, you don't want to risk it on fourth. Sure, good call, take the sure thing. But he didn't get anything on that. It's now going to be third down in about 6 inches. Take a look at Smoker, see how he's going to gather his feet and bring them back, but well, you don't get 6 inches on a quarterback sneak. You got to look at your offensive line. They have got to at least get you the line of scrimmage and a little bit of a push. Give Wisconsin's defensive line some credit there.
4 for 4 and third and short for Michigan State. Fullback in motion. Duckett hit and driven back. Oh my goodness, what penetration by Bryson Thompson, the linebacker. A huge hit on T.J. Duckett, and they may have lost a little bit there.
Well, I think this is going to force Michigan State to go for the field goal. When you don't gain anything on 2 running plays in a row, when all you need are 6 inches, you got no choice here but to go for the field goal to duck it. Boy, there was no room at all for him to pick anything up.
39-yard field goal attempt. David Schaefer into the capricious winds of Spartan Stadium, and the kick on its way, and it's going to be no good. Looked like he hooked it to the left. So a Spartan drive that nets nothing. And the Boo Birds out just a bit here on homecoming weekend at Spartan Stadium. Wisconsin takes over. You take a look at special teams, so important. We don't talk about it nearly enough during the week, but special teams cost Michigan State that game at Iowa, plain and simple.
Wayne, some teams don't have that many miscues in a season on special teams, much less in 1 week.
Randy, that drive, 63 yards in 11 plays, took better than 5 minutes off the clock, and Bobby Williams and company come up empty. Still tied at 10. Wisconsin takes over on 1st and 10. Sorge, the swing pass to Chambers. And he gets a gain out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Ronaldo Hill on the stop. Take a look at the field goal try by Schaefer a moment ago, Randy. Any problems here?
It looked like it was a pretty good snap and a pretty good hold, and with this wind, just not where it needed to be. Schaefer just pulled it a little bit to the left and just missed it. Looked like everything else was good.
Here's another look from the end zone. Yeah, that thing just steered left. I know that feeling well. I do that with the driver a lot, especially with water on the left. Here's the handoff to Bennett, fighting for yardage. It appears that both of these defenses will carry the day here today.
Well, and I think it's coming down to which team clinches first, who's going to make the first mistake that gives the offense that has not been able to be very productive today the shorter field, the opportunity to take this game. And you aren't going to get a lot of opportunities to score points. And in Michigan State's case, you've got to take advantage of those field goals when you get that opportunity.
Bobby Williams mentioned to us, and his coaches concurred, they would have to make some plays here offensively to beat Wisconsin. They couldn't do it, just grind it out. Trench warfare, they have to make a play or two. Maybe the same could be said for the Badgers. That pass off the mark, thrown behind the receiver, got a couple of hands on it. Chambers unable to haul it in. But a catch he probably, Randy, might say that I should have had.
Well, when you've got a freshman quarterback back there, you got to make these plays. Sorge does a nice job of setting his feet, just throws the ball behind Chambers. Awfully tough catch to make, especially Chambers moving away from the ball. But somebody, that's what you got to say as a head coach. Hey, somebody's got to step up and make a play, guys. We got an inexperienced young quarterback. Step up and do something.
Got to make that play. You know, got to make that catch. Al Toon makes that catch. Not fair to compare Chambers to Toon, but that's the kind of play they're looking for. Foster lets it hit. Oh boy, does this take a bounce in favor of the Badgers all the way back to the 6. Iowa pinned 3 punts inside the 20-yard line last week, and another one here by Wisconsin, a 66-yard punt. Coming up next week, we will be back at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Nationally ranked Ohio State bursting into the end zone with Wells and Casper, the friendly ghost for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Kevin Casper leading the way. Jonathan Wells for Ohio State. Next Saturday, noon Eastern, 11 Central. Check your local listings. And John Butcher, the freshman quarterback, has been impressive.
Done a great job. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's outstanding for any quarterback, much less the freshman.
First down, Michigan State, pinned back near the 6-yard line. Smoker. Baker pops wide open. Smoker very cool in the pocket that time. Penalty marker down late. Eccles made the tackle. Penalty marker down. It looked like maybe for an extra shove or hit late in that play. Personal foul. Ooh, it's against Michigan State.
Watch at the end of the play. Surprised Michigan State throwing into the wind, but wide open Baker. He fights. Watch number 2, Fletcher, right at the end. There's the hit right there coming by number 70, Sakura. Comes up and just labels Fletcher right there at the end.
But it is Eccles who struggles off the field, and he may have gotten twisted down there in the bottom of that. And they help Eccles to the Wisconsin bench. There he is.
Wayne, it was a dead ball, so it happened after the first down. That's why Michigan State will have the ball on the 12, but that's about as cheap a shot as I have seen this year on the playing field.
Duly penalized in the final seconds of this third quarter. 1st and 12. First down from the 12, I should say. Smoker's pass again intended for the tight end Baker. 4 seconds to go in the third.
Well, the reason I mentioned earlier a surprise that they were throwing down here, with only 4 seconds to go in this quarter, if they run the ball, the quarter's going to end. Then they're going to get the win. Now with the pass, it's incomplete. They've got a 2nd and 10, and if they choose to throw, they have to do it again into the wind.
2nd down and 10 now for Jeff Smoker and company. He's back to the huddle. Against Northwestern earlier this year, season-high marks for attempts with 35 and completions with 17. Getting the call, Flowers, not much there off right guard. Into the wind as the third quarter comes to a close. So Michigan State will have the wind to its back for the 4th quarter. And that in itself could be significant here. Pressure by the Michigan State defense has been relentless all day, and a big play by Baker. Maybe Sparty and company will make enough plays to get him a win.
Beck's Spotlight Series presents Third Eye Blind live. Win a trip to New York, Chicago, or San Francisco to see a private concert. Enter where Beck's is sold.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert, bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Pebble, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
You know me.
Teacher tells us all we gotta do is just say no. And the other day, a policeman came to our class talking about say no too. But my teacher doesn't have to walk home to this neighborhood. And maybe the dealers are scared of the police. But they're not scared of me. And they sure don't take no for an answer.
Kevin Scott and all the other kids who take the long way home. We hear you. Don't give up.
So we've been looking at these new satellite dishes.
Why is it the more I look?
The more questions I have,
A few
reservations.
So where does this dish go? Why is it right out in front on the roof?
Just out there in the open.
I mean, we have a beautiful yard. I might have to cut some trees down, too. I'm not interested in cutting down some of the beautiful things I've had growing for years to make room for a satellite dish.
So this sounds like a pretty involved process.
And who's going to stay home?
Waiting for people to come and install it. Me.
Satellite TV isn't all it's dished up to be.
I'm real excited.
Neither team able to break through in the third, so we're tied at 10 as we were at halftime. 3rd down and 10 for Michigan State. Smoker out of the shotgun. Time to throw. Tough catch by Richardson, and he reins it in. In between defenders, B.J. Tucker was there, along with Roger Knight.
What a key play that was. Wisconsin could have forced Michigan State to punt from their own end zone, and now a key play gives them a first down with the wind at their back. It gives them a little bit of momentum and an opportunity for Wisconsin to stop them there.
Take a look at it again. Good throw between coverage. Knight and Tucker were there.
B.J. Tucker does a nice job coming off of his man, just gets there half a step late.
Smoker on the option. Tyrell Dortch shot across the 25-yard line. Minnesota leading by 13, and Purdue is moving well on top of Northwestern. Iowa, Illinois, early going in that one, first quarter.
Minnesota is leading Ohio State by 13 at Columbus.
Well, I tell you, Coop always has one of those in him. You know what I mean? There's always one game where Ohio State's undefeated going into a ball game. As you get a look at our scene here at Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan, along with Randy Wright and Jim Barber, I'm Wayne Larrabee. Seems like when they get on a roll like that, Ohio State always comes up with one game where they just don't get it done for some reason. You remember when Michigan State beat them 2 years ago, maybe the best team Cooper's ever had at Ohio State. Beat an undefeated #1 ranked Ohio State team down in Columbus.
I think, Wayne, with this year in the Big Ten, things are so balanced, I don't know if anything would surprise us.
Yeah, you know, obviously this Ohio State team, as good as it is not nearly as good as that team in '98.
No, not at all. But this Michigan State team is pretty good right now. They've got a little something going here. They're continuing to keep the ball on the ground, and they're still hurting the Badgers with the simple option play.
We are early going fourth quarter. Herb Haygood, the man in motion. Smoker looking around, going over the top for Richardson. Diving grab, sensational catch inside the 30. Beat the coverage of Michael Broussard, and it was good coverage. That was a great throw and a sensational catch for 36 yards.
Well described, Wayne. The best thing Smoker does is he gives his receiver a chance to make the play. Excellent coverage, just an outstanding catch, but you've got to keep it on the field, which Smoker does. Boy, just a great catch.
Morris Watts talked to us earlier as you get a look at the reaction by Jeff Smoker. Confidence growing with each throw. Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator, told us the quarterbacks and receivers must make plays today for this team, Michigan State, to beat Wisconsin. It does not appear they're going to have much of the big guy, T.J. Duck, into the lineup as Tyrell Dortch gets a short gain there. Let's quickly go back to the studio and Mike Gleason.
Oh, Wayne, a couple of minutes ago, you updated that Purdue score. They're opening some breathing room, but this is Drew Brees. Vinny Sutherland, his second. Stanford has 2. 4 touchdown passes for Brees. Steve Ennis has also gone in from a couple yards out, the first rushing touchdown of the day. 34-14 Purdue in the third quarter. Plenty of football to be played, but the Boilermakers with some breathing room, Wayne.
And Mike, great blocking by the receivers on that pass play into the flat. Flea flicker, Smoker, Haygood, interception, Wisconsin. Mike Eccles. And the Badger defense turns the Spartans away at the doorstep. Mike Eccles on the interception. We talked about the two cornerbacks, Fletcher and Eccles. They may be the best tandem in the Big Ten. And the interception for Eccles, his first of the season.
Nick Smoker felt his receiver was more open than he was. The little flea flicker here, and Smoker just doesn't put enough zip on this ball. Eccles has great speed. Sometimes he'll do this. He'll almost set up the quarterback. He's got that great recovery speed. He never fell for the fake the whole way and played it perfectly.
Second interception of the day for Eccles. His first interception came earlier on a ricochet. I hardly want to award him an interception there. He just happened to be in the right spot. But this one, outstanding interception by Mike Eccles.
Well, another drive Michigan State put together. Remember, they started that after the punt on their own 6-yard line. Came out and drove down into Wisconsin territory. But for the second time here, came away with no points.
First and 10 Badgers. Brooks Bollinger out with a concussion. Jim Sorgi on a quarterback. And here comes Bennett to the outside. Oh, that was a great play made by the cornerback, Ronaldo Hill, who played off the block that time of Lee Evans and made the tackle. Jim Barber.
Guys, Eccles, as you see, is okay. He made the big play moments ago. He had been shaken up, had taken off the field a few plays prior to that. As for the interception, almost identical to what happened between Purdue and Wisconsin last year. Purdue marching, fourth quarter in West Lafayette. This time a halfback option, picked off in the end zone. Badgers took it back on the offensive series and won the game.
Thank you, Jim. Second down for the Badgers. Evans, the man in motion. Sorgi dumps it off in the short pattern. John Sigmund made the catch. Brown on the tackle. Richard Brown, a safety. Sorgi got leveled by Jay Saylor.
Sorgi's pass complete to number 85.
Sorgi does a nice job standing in there. Michigan State not fooled at all by this little bootleg right here. In fact, Sigmund is well covered, but when you're 6'6", 270 pounds, you're really just like a lineman that's out there. And he does a nice job of holding on to that ball and giving his team a makeable third down right now.
3 yards.
Third down for Wisconsin. 3rd and 3. Time to dig in. Blitz coming. They picked it up well. Sorgi's pass through the hands of Chambers. Underneath the coverage of Hill. It would have been a first down near the 39.
Wayne, we talked earlier about your stars have got to make plays. Sorgi did a nice job of throwing that ball on time, and Chris Chambers has just got to make this catch. If you're going to be a standout player on your team, you got to step up, and that's a ball that you just have to catch at this point in the game.
Amen. Kevin Stemke on in punt formation. Done a good job today. Foster back deep. Sean Foster for Michigan State. 4th down at a 10-10 ball game. Just under 11 minutes to go. Line drive kick into the wind. And this one kicks up there, and it's taken by Foster. Foster out across the 35-yard line. He kind of baited the coverage unit into thinking he was going to let it go, and then on the hop, he picked it off and returns it 4 yards off a 37-yard punt.
New batteries. Liquid wrench. Autocraft battery cables. AC Delco alternators. Advance Auto Parts carries more parts than any other store, including one you won't find anywhere else.
You know, we can give you a free installation if you like.
Sure. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Okay, DJ, I'm ready for you. What's the game?
I'll see Boomerang.
Boomerangs? I think I prefer football.
So what are you doing here?
I came here for the big juicy steaks. How about you?
I want that shrimp on the Barbie.
Now let's go eat.
They're back.
Get ready for another exciting season of the best football in the Southeast on CSS. Weekly games featuring schools you want to see. In-depth coaches show. An entire night of your favorite school. Tennessee on Monday. Georgia on Tuesday. On Wednesdays, it's Mississippi. Thursdays, Arkansas and Kentucky. And Alabama Friday. With more games, CSS has the Southeast covered. Saturday, a full day of live football you can't see anywhere else.
The Golf Channel. More golf updates in 1/2 hour than you can get anywhere else. The only source for news. We get more of the stories and information you're looking for because we're there for every tournament. Tune in for the most comprehensive, up-to-the-minute golf news you can get anywhere. Every night on Golf Central. More of what you want from the only network devoted entirely to the game of golf.
Clara Bell Smith, Athletic Academic Center on the campus of Michigan State University, right across the street from the football stadium. I believe that's Bubba Smith, the big defensive end depicted there. Smoker makes the turn on a keeper around the left end across the 40-yard line out near the 43. It's a gain of about 4 yards. That Academic Center, outstanding, also houses the kind of a Hall of Fame type of area for Michigan State athletics, and much of that was made possible by a $3 million donation several years ago by former Spartan basketball standout Steve Smith, and it's named in memory of his mother. Second down.
Second down, 6, Spartans.
About 6 yards to go for the Spartans here in this fourth quarter. Smoker. Pass short of the mark intended for Richardson, coming back for it against Eccles. These two cornerbacks, Eccles and Fletcher, almost force you to go to other options like Chris Baker, the tight end, or maybe a running back out of the backfield.
And Michigan State has tried to get Baker involved in the passing game with mixed success. But if Michigan State is going to try and attack these two corners with a steady diet, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it sure is. Here they are. Boy, they are as good as it gets as a combo in the Big Ten.
And I don't know if there's one in the country better than that one right there.
6 yards, MSU.
Third down for Michigan State. They spread the field in a 3-receiver set. Everybody out for a pass. They hit the slant to Marcus Waters. We hear from the sophomore out of Sarasota, Florida for the first time today. Bose and Eccles on the stop. First down, 9-yard gain.
That's one way to do it. When you bring in a third receiver, you've got your Richardson, your Haygood. You bring in a Marcus Waters, a third guy that really could be a tight for number 2. He's a good quality receiver coming off of a little injury. Great size, 6'4", 230. When you run him on an inside route, that size really screens off that defender.
First down, 48-yard line of Wisconsin. Still tied at 10 in the fourth. Haygood, the man in motion, and they reverse it to him. And this time they have the defense full. But staying at home on that particular play, Bryson Thompson did not over-pursue Randy, and he was able to force it back inside because they had it cleared out pretty well.
Very well played by Bryson Thompson. This looks like it's going to be a much bigger play than it turns out to be. Thompson stays at home. He's not going to make the tackle here, but at least he forces Haygood to go to the inside where the rest of his team is coming from. Good play by Thompson.
Gain of about 7 yards. Bryson Thompson was the only one to stay home. If he doesn't stay home, that's a jailbreak. Second down. Tyrell Dortz trying to stretch it to the outside, and the Wisconsin defense will have none of it. A loss of 3 back to the 44. Meanwhile, Ryan Van Dyke, who started this game, and matter of fact, played the first series offensively for Michigan State in the third quarter. A look at his numbers today. He waits patiently.
All 5 of those completions, though, Wayne, coming in the first quarter, was over after that. Smoker has come in and given a little spark to this Spartan offense, especially through the air.
In talking to Bobby Williams and talking to Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator, what they wanted to get Smoker some reps here in these ball games because they don't want him to lose all he gained in the first 3 games of the season when he started.
He played well, as you said. He did gain a lot.
Third down. Smoker. Baker cannot hang on. Broke it up nicely by Bose. Back to the Phillips 66 studio and Mike Gleason.
And Wayne, back to Columbus in the horseshoe. Steve Belisario was 4 of 13 for 79 yards. Now he's 9 of 19 for 124 yards. And that touchdown pass to Darnell Sanders. And the Buckeyes are making it interesting now for the homecoming. 12-19 to go in the ballgame. It's 23-17. Gophers still on top. Wayne?
Oh, that is a whale of a ball game brewing in Columbus. And Belisario, beautiful pass.
Wayne, no question here, Michigan State punts the ball. This is a game of field position right now. Less than 8 minutes to go in the game. 8 minutes, 1 second. With Wisconsin not having success moving it offensively, play for field position.
I think he got too much of this one. And pretty hard to control there. 44-yard punt. That swirling wind. And Wisconsin will start at the 20. So as we go to a break here in the fourth quarter, who will make the big play? Well, on this one, Joey Bose breaks it up from Baker, and we're still tied at 10.
You've got a key to your house. You've got a key to your car. Well, now you've got a key to the pump. Speed Pass for mobile. It's your personal key to getting in and out of the station fast. Just wave it at the pump, gas up, and go. To get your free Speed Pass, call now, toll-free. Mobile Speed Pass is linked to a major credit card or check card you already have. Over 3 million people are already getting gas faster with Mobile Speed Pass, the fastest way to get gas.
If the sun is bad for me, why do I look so good with the tan? I understand nail pattern baldness. I just can't find the pattern. How can I tell my daughter I've been there when obviously I haven't?
Help is on the way. From the people who bring you Discovery comes a new TV channel and revolutionary website devoted to your health. Discovery Health Channel at discoveryhealth.com.
CSS is your source for college football in the Southeast. Monday is Tennessee night. Catch the best action Tennessee schools have to offer. At 7, Philip Fulmer, college football's winningest coach, brings you his hour-long show of in-depth balls football. Tune in to CSS as Fulmer takes you through another exciting year at Tennessee. Find it every Monday night starting at 7 Eastern.
I'm Coach Philip Fulmer. Follow the Tennessee Volunteers all season long on CSS, your source for sports in the Southeast.
Alumni cheerleading squad. It's like riding a bike, Randy. You never forget how to do that cheerleading.
They look like they just got out of school yesterday.
Yes, they did. Look very good. First down from the 24, Wisconsin. Sorge, boy, I tell you, he didn't have a chance to option defend at that time. Nabbed right at the line of scrimmage by Richard Newsom. Jim Barber.
Somebody once said, guys, you can't tell the players without a scorecard. Well, today the scorecard is full with injuries. And back of me is Paul Harker, an offensive guard. He's got an ankle sprain. They'll check and see if there's any break. And moments earlier, Sean Mason shaken up on the offense for Michigan State. He is okay and back. Can you imagine what Monday and Tuesday is going to be like for Michigan State and Wisconsin in the trainer's room?
They're going to have to add on to the trainer's room to accommodate all the bodies that'll be in there. Second down. State coming on a blitz once again. Thornhill up the middle. Sorge hit as he throws. Pass underthrown a bit, and it's incomplete. Incidental contact down the sidelines as he was trying to get it out to Chambers. Pretty well covered on the play by Ronaldo Hill. Beck's game summary, and as you get a look at it, Hollinger left in the first half with a concussion. Sorge is quarterbacked all the way in the second half. Michigan State hasn't scored since the opening quarter when they scored on their second and third drives of the game.
And if you're Bobby Williams, you know Michael Bennett with that game-breaking speed can turn his game in one play. It's something that he has done several times already this year.
Iowa, or I should say Wisconsin, really struggling in third downs, 1 of 12. Iowa went 8 of 18 in third downs against the state defense last week. Penalty marker down. The receiver went down. Newsom had their coverage. Chambers, the man intended for the pass at the 30-yard line. A penalty marker down on Thomas Wright, I should say. And Thomas Wright may have gotten early contact on that play and knocked the receiver to the ground. Pass interference against the Spartans.
Michigan State coming with an all-out blitz here, man-to-man coverage.
Some pretty strong wind down to the floor of that stadium.
See the blitz coming. Wisconsin, nice job picking it up. And just the tail end of the contact right there, and something certainly caused Chambers to go down, but you couldn't see what it was.
You couldn't see what it was, exactly. The Chambers very definitely going down there. First down for Wisconsin. Bennett to the outside, got 1,000 yards, although pending the outcome of more flags. He only needed a yard on that carry to get to 1,000 yards.
There are 3 flags down. I think they're for 2 different infractions against Wisconsin. 2 different holdings.
Holding the call against Wisconsin.
One looked like it happened in the backfield, possibly by the fullback. The other one was more towards the outside.
Let's see if we can pick it up here.
There's one right there. You see
right there.
Thornhill 50 being held, and then one downfield.
It's still first down, but it's first in a bunch. First and about 22 yards to go.
Well, I don't think Michigan State is going to lighten up with their aggressive style of play. They have continued to put pressure on Wisconsin quarterback with a fair amount of success.
Bennett's in the slot on the top of your screen. Sorge on a keeper. Boy, nowhere to go. Better cut your losses, son. Josh Shaw guns him down. Loss of yardage back to the 15, or close to it.
a designed quarterback draw, you have to wait a little bit. You have to let the pressure come upfield. When you call the quarterback draw, you want to get the defenders pass rushing. You have to let them see pass before you take off and run. That's a timing thing, and Jim Sorgi is just not quite as familiar with that timing at game-type speed. You see it in practice. The speed is different in the game.
Second and long, second and about 25. Football back to the 16. To Bennett. Hit hard at the hole. Driven down Jace Saylor. Playing a whale of a game here today. First to the ball.
And Michigan State right now is playing for field position. They know if they hold Wisconsin, they've got 25 yards to go. Don't do anything foolish. Give them a cheap penalty or a cheap first down. Make them punt into the wind. You've got under 6 minutes to go. You look to get good field position.
Let's go back to the start of the second half. And again, Michigan State elected to take the wind in the fourth quarter rather than the football early on. Third down and long.
Michigan State in almost a prevent defense right now.
3 deep for Michigan State. Lots of time for Sorgi. Gets it away. It's juggled and broken up incomplete. Nick Davis at the 30 would have been far short of the first down.
You know, it would have been far short, Wayne, but that's a ball that gives you another 15 yards, and that's a big difference in field position. Sorgi really doesn't have time to step up and throw, and this would have been a tough catch. But again, Nick Davis is a leader on this team, and you've got to start making these plays. Nobody on this offense is making a play to help Jim Sorgi out.
Bill Miller's defense has attacked Wisconsin all day. The Michigan State Spartan defensive coordinator, Bill Miller, he said, we're going to attack them. We're going to keep attacking like Ohio State did a week ago. 10 points all she wrote for Wisconsin here today. Kevin Stempke into the wind, line drive, end over end kick. Foster lets it go. Now hit it. It's up for grabs. It's anybody's football. Foster tipped it, and Wisconsin's got it. Inside the 40-yard line of Michigan State. Bobby Williams can't believe it. Oh, that's just a huge mental error at this stage of the game by Sean Foster.
Well, Bobby Williams has got to be thinking deja vu. Special teams killed his team last week at Iowa. We just talked about it being a game of field position and who makes the first mistake, and Michigan State has given Wisconsin a golden opportunity here. Trying to pick this ball up after the bounce. The difference this time is there's so many white jerseys around him.
Exactly.
He did it last time.
Yep.
Even if you make a mistake, no one's there. Here he tries to do it in a crowd.
Now new life for the Wisconsin Badgers at the Michigan State 37 on 1st and 10. Faulkner hit in the backfield and down he goes. Matt Croft got over to make the hit. The linebacker in his junior season out of Traverse City, Michigan.
For Wisconsin, you don't have to try and force things to happen. You get one first down and you're in field goal range, even into this win. You can stay in the style of offense you like. You have to execute, but you don't have to force things to happen.
Second down coming up. Barry Alvarez, nothing has gone easy this season for his team. Murphy's Law has followed this team throughout the campaign from the word go. Sorgi under pressure gets the ball away and undershot. Chambers incomplete. Chambers pretty well covered by Cedric Henry. We talked about the Wisconsin cornerbacks, but the 2 cornerbacks for Michigan State, although not maybe in the same class quite as Eccles and Fletcher, are nonetheless very good. Hill and, of course, Cedric Henry.
And Cedric Henry has played an outstanding game today. He has been matched up with Chambers more so than Nick Davis, and he has stood up and just played an outstanding game.
4:25 left to go in the football game. We're tied at 10. Can Wisconsin cash in on this big turnover break? We'll see.
Hey there. Time time for a holiday. So switch off your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Or join the National Football League. But wherever you go, let National Car Rental get you there fast. With special low rates on minivans for only $229.99 per week nationwide. Or only $289.99 per week in New York. National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Chevy Blazer LT, the only vehicle in its class with OnStar and lots of other security features. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like our rock.
Back at East Lansing, 4:25 to go, 10-10 ball game. Wisconsin facing third and a little bit more than 10 yards to go, Randy. Is it 4-down territory here?
If they get some positive yardage on this play, I think they do go for it. If not, I think they play the field position game and punt it. They got to get positive yardage here.
Michigan State hasn't scored since the first quarter. Wisconsin hasn't scored since the second. Sorgi. Negative yardage back to the 40. They lost 3.
Now I think you clearly punt this ball and you play for the field position. And their punter, Kevin Stepke, is excellent at kicking the ball out of bounds down by the goal line.
4th sack of the day. The Spartan defense up front has been relentless. And Matt Croft, who got a surprise start, we were told about it this morning, the pass rush specialist, and the pass rush indeed has been effective here today. Stepke trying to dump it inside the 20 as deep as he can.
And I would be surprised if Bobby Williams didn't tell Sean Foster, you don't even touch this ball unless you can catch it in the air. Stay on your 10-yard line, it's over your head, let it go. Don't try and make a play.
High snap, no pressure, line drive kick, and it escapes. Oh, it's kept in play and down by the Badgers. Oh, a great play in the end zone. Or are they they're gonna rule it a touchback? So they ruled it a touchback. The sack on 3rd down dissuades Wisconsin from trying a field goal.
Presents Third Eye Blind Live. Win a trip to New York, Chicago, or San Francisco to see a private concert. Enter where Bex is sold.
What do guys do when they think no one's looking? Now, what do guys do when they think someone will be looking? They shop at Value City Department Store. There's just about every name brand you can think of at prices so low, they'll surprise you. You know, like 20 to 70% off department store prices. Of course, guys get real deals at Value City, but guys will still be guys.
My name is Alana Obi. I see my family out there. They may not be my children biologically, but they are still my family. The playgrounds used to be infested, but now my children have a place to play. We bond together, and we take care of the problem. We're watching. This is my block. This is my family.
Get ready for another exciting season of the best football in the Southeast on CSS. Weekly games featuring schools you want to see. In-Depth Coaches Show. An entire night of your favorite school. Tennessee on Monday, Georgia on Tuesday. On Wednesdays, it's Mississippi. Thursdays, Arkansas and Kentucky. And Alabama Friday. With more games, CSS has the Southeast covered. Saturday, a full day of live football you can't see anywhere else.
Oh, that's good. We need some more toilet paper.
All new adventures.
Bad monkey.
All new songs.
Getting gay with kisses here.
All new drama.
Completed since the first quarter.
And Randy, I think they just wanted to get him a play where he would complete a pass to somebody, even if it's a loss of yardage, that maybe gets him back in a rhythm a little bit.
Give him something to, as you said, get into a rhythm and take a chance to look at the defense and what they're going to play.
2nd and 12. Haygood, the man in motion. Here comes Duckett. Not very far. Boy, initial penetration. Eric Malik grabbed his ankle, wouldn't let go, and Bryson filled the hole. Malik, the principal defender, number 98.
Wayne, the best thing that can happen to Wisconsin right now, realistically, is to go into overtime because they shortened the field for their freshman quarterback. It becomes a 25-yard field if it goes into overtime. They don't have to drive 80 yards. Michigan State has got the ability offensively to go 80 yards in a play or two or put a drive together. So Wisconsin right now, I think, is playing for overtime.
3rd and almost 14 yards to go. 3rd and 13 from the shotgun. Van Dyke. Tight pocket, escapes. Swings it out to the tight end. Baker made one man miss and escapes out of bounds near the 26-yard line. Roger Knight finally angled him out on the far side.
Pretty good job by Van Dyke that time, keeping things alive and knowing where his outlet was, but a dangerous throw to Bakers. This was a lateral going backwards. That ball's not caught. All of a sudden it becomes a live ball, and a costly mistake could have happened that time.
Craig Jarrett on and punt formation. Nick Davis back deep. Who will make a play here? The final minute 51 of regulation. Kind of an end-over-end kick, not much of a kick, and it backs up and out of play near the 45-yard line. So a short field, a 55-yard field for Wisconsin to work on with a minute 45 to go. Just a 29-yard punt. What a time for that one from Craig Jarrett. Let's take a look at our drive of the game, brought to you by Mobile Speed Pass, today's way to play. Take a look at this. Wisconsin's only touchdown drive back in the second quarter. 10 plays, 80 yards. Brooks Bollinger gained 51 of those yards, including the last one into the end zone. Bollinger out with a concussion. So now redshirt freshman quarterback Jim Sorgi has come on and played this second half. Bennett. Nothing there. Jace Saylor, as he has been all day, pursuing on the play.
This may be the 2-minute offense Wisconsin's going to run. This could help out Jim Sorgi because what it does is it simplifies the type of defense Michigan State is going to run. Should keep them out of the blitz, lets him have a pre-snap read, so this could be a little easier for him to read.
Quick toss to the side, a little bit off the mark there, threw it behind the receiver. Center for Nick Davis. Ronaldo Hill on the coverage.
I think Sorgi thought he had to throw the ball quicker than he does. Even though you're in a hurry-up offense, once the play goes, you can let things develop a little more. Sometimes it's easier said than done when your adrenaline gets going out there, but that was an opportunity. He didn't have to throw it as quickly as he did.
A Michigan native, Jim Sorgi, in his first collegiate action. Redshirt freshman. Sorgi's missed his last 5 passes. 3rd down and 10. Blitz coming. Sorgi. Oh, and a great catch here. Just short of the first down by Chambers. A sensational catch by Chambers. Sorgi was getting plastered by Josh Thornhill. What a great play on both ends. A gain of about 8 yards, almost 9.
Wayne, that was just a good play all the way around. Good job by Thornhill coming through there. Sorgi getting rid of the ball, and Chambers makes an acrobatic, outstanding catch. Good job of recognizing it, and boy, just a great catch there by Chambers, and a good job there by Thomas Wright to not let him fight for the first down.
Timeout called. It is 4th down. And about a yard to go for Wisconsin. So Sorgi, there's Chambers. We mentioned Chambers. Couple of tough catch attempts that he's gotten two hands on, Randy, and hasn't been able to pull them in, but that one was a wonderful catch by Chambers.
Well, Chambers has been plagued by that throughout his career. Can make the very difficult catch, but yet has had several very easy drops. That was one of the toughest catches he'll ever be asked to make, and it does so and puts Wisconsin in a peculiar position right now.
Well, coming up next week from ESPN Plus, check your local stations. The Ohio State Buckeyes, Steve Belisari, Jonathan Wells blasting into the end zone, undefeated, and they take on Kevin Casper and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Noon Eastern time next week. Take a look at Belisari, the season he's having now as compared to last year. He is growing into that quarterback position.
He's growing into it, but I think you look at their offensive line, and whenever you see a quarterback mature and develop as Belisari has, you've got to start with that line, and it's a better line this year than it was last year. And I think the reverse can be said with Brooks Bollinger in Wisconsin. His line is much worse, therefore his struggles have been more this year than last year.
And, you know, again, the suspensions early in the season, then injuries, Dave Costa going down with a broken leg, a season-ending injury, a senior, a leader on that line, and all of a sudden you're reshuffling people. One week you got Robach at right guard, next week he's at center. Ferrario's the only mainstay staying at his position. You've got Brian Lamont struggling against Oregon, having to play again and start here today. Jakubowski seeing some time in that offensive line. Ben Johnson has been in and out of the lineup. Brian White is on the left there in your screen, just under the bars there as you get a look at him. He's the offensive coordinator for the Wisconsin Badgers and trying to get them into field goal range. This is a huge play here. Fourth and about a yard to go. 46 seconds to go in the game. Bobby Williams looking on anxiously. His defense has answered the call almost every time in this game.
Brooks Bollinger in, you probably run option or bootleg. Give him a chance. Maybe not the same with Jim Sorge. Got to rely on your offensive line to give the ball carrier at least the line of scrimmage.
Fourth down. Here we go. Motion from Chambers. Give to Bennett. Leaping, and he's got it, I believe. It'll depend on the spot of the ball, but it looks like he's got it. I thought for a moment, Randy, he may have taken off too early on that leap, but it looks like it's going to be a first down Wisconsin as the clock stops with 42 seconds to go. First down Badgers.
And give that offensive line the credit. They did give Bennett. Watch that surge right where the ball was going over. Now, the pressure came from the outside, and that's why Bennett had to leave the ground early, but fortunately had enough strength to get to the line of scrimmage and beyond for the first down.
Jim Sorge on 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. Low snap. Fields it cleanly. Winding up. Going deep for Lee Evans. Leaping drop. Touchdown, Wisconsin. 45 yards. They beat Cedric Henry. What a beautiful lead throw from Jim Sorge. And Lee Evans, as he has been all season, Randy, the big play man, a model of consistency, yeah, but a guy who also makes the plays for Wisconsin.
And up until this point, nobody had stepped up and made those kind of plays. Evans that time gets behind Henry, who has had an outstanding day, and then he finishes the play. He catches the ball, he brings it down, and gives Wisconsin their biggest play of the day.
His 7th catch this season of 20 yards or more. That one 45 yards to the lead score. First career TD for Jim Sorge. That almost goes without saying. The redshirt freshman seeing his first action in his collegiate career in his home state of Michigan. The extra point is good by Vitaly Pisetsky. 29 seconds to go. Wisconsin has battled back all day, and Barry Alvarez and company finally have the lead.
One of the few times a Wisconsin quarterback has had time to throw. Sorge can step up there and can step into the throw, and he does a nice job of throwing the ball to the outside, but really you got to give Lee Evans the credit. He was the one that played off Cedric Henry. Watch him go to the inside, and now he fades right there. He fades away from Henry, so if Henry's playing the ball, he can't stay with Evans.
Evans got just enough separation, and look at this, boy. This is, I guess, a tremendous gasp after 3 weeks of losing. Barry Alvarez and his Badgers have the lead in the final seconds, finally.
Well, is it more excitement or is it more relief?
I think it's a gasp of relief. I think that's what that was. Oh, man, have they struggled over the last 3 weeks. It is so hard when you've been to the mountaintop and you've been competing year in, year out, the last 2 years for the Rose Bowl, for the Big Ten championship. You go into this year with national championship aspirations. To lose 3 games, to put everything in the basket after a shocking loss to Northwestern, put everything in the basket, lose a tough ball game at Michigan, then get blown out at home against Ohio State. It's so hard. Toughest coaching job is to now get your team to play for intangibles. Gone is the Rose Bowl, gone is the national championship. Now you've got to play for pride. That's an intangible. They've been playing for tangibles the last few years. The kickoff by Pisetsky. A line drive kick. Herb Haygood gets a shot with it from the 5. Haygood into a crowd of the 25. 24 seconds remain. Roger Knight made the stop. Well, we mentioned who would make the play. The Wisconsin offense, and in particular Lee Evans, made the play of the game a moment ago. Now do the Spartans have something left? They don't have much time. They do have 2 timeouts.
And what they need to do is get the ball in position where Van Dyke can throw the ball into the end zone. You don't try and get it all right here. Get it up to the midfield area where you can give your receivers a chance to get to the end zone and your quarterback a chance to get it there.
Look at this start. Flags all over the first play from scrimmage.
Right to the snap. Ball start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
That's not the way you want to start the most crucial drive of the ball game. 7th penalty against Michigan State. Bobby got some of that penalty problem corrected last week, but not all of it. Van Dyke. 1st and 15. Lets it go. Pass underthrown, intended for Marcus Waters. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 with 19 seconds remaining.
You see a Badger shaking up on the field right there. Van Dyke doing a nice job stepping up, just trying to hit the open receiver, as we just talked about. You don't want to try, you don't need to try and get it all right now, but this is where Wisconsin's pass rush is going to be brutal. They know he's in a position where he's got to throw the ball, and they're going to be coming from all angles.
I believe that's Eric Malik who's down on the field, a senior out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Or is it Sprague? Might be Jake Sprague. Hard to tell on the number from that shot. Looks like Jake Sprague, number 99. Outback Steakhouse, outstanding back of the game, Mike Eccles. 7 tackles, 2 interceptions here today, including one right at the goal line, where he stepped in front of Herb Haygood on what would have been at that time the lead score.
Directly relating to points. This one right here taking points away from Michigan State. Just an outstanding play defensively. And his other interception was the one that led to the field goal right before the half.
Jake Sprague limps off. Again, Ryan Van Dyke has 19 seconds, 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 7. Michigan State on 2nd and 15. The 45-yard touchdown pass to Lee Evans has stunned this homecoming crowd, and now Roger Knight, as timeout is called quickly. Roger Knight trying to put a nail in the Spartan coffin. 3rd sack of the ball game for Wisconsin. Knight came straight across.
Well, you see him on the left side of your screen, and boy, they just ran a simple little stunt, and he kept Chris Baker in to try and block, and there was just a lot of confusion there, and you just can't let somebody come free like that when you've got him picked up. You've got him mentally blocked, and your quarterback sitting there thinking, I know he's accounted for, but just mental mistakes by your offensive line and your tight end.
Wisconsin hasn't won in East Lansing, Randy, short of a forfeit back in 1994, since 1984 when they won here 20-10. So this was by no means an easy game, nor a game that Barry Alvarez and company look forward to coming in.
You know, when you're 0-3, Wayne, there are no easy wins.
That's true. Well put. Now let's take a look at the Chevrolet player of the game, Jim Sorge. Well, I tell you what, take a look at this. 7 of 15, 96 yards. In relief of Brooks Bollinger, he played the entire second half. Bollinger went out with a concussion.
I think when you look at that 7 for 15, less than 50%, but he put his team in a position to win. And when you look at where Bollinger was in the first half, not a completion, it really lets you know what Sorgi has done.
The kid has to feel pretty good. He's a Michigan native playing at Wisconsin. Here comes the blitz again. Van Dyke able to escape. On the run, lets it go deep. And it is intercepted by the Badgers' Nick Bryson, the linebacker. Perhaps for him, poetic justice, because he was left holding the shoe of Derek Combs on the first big play of the game last week against Ohio State when Combs went 80 yards for the first score of that game. He gets the interception that seals the verdict here today.
It starts with the pressure up front, forcing Van Dyke out. Desperation pass right here. More times than not, this is what's going to happen. But you go back and you talked about the Badgers and Alvarez and what they've overcome and how tough it's been and the 0-3 start. And now you've got to look at Bobby Williams with where his team is. The tough physical part of their schedule starts today, goes on, and he's got so many injuries and so many young players. It's going to take all his coaching ability to regroup.
And Randy, the youth factor is the big key for Michigan State. They're a very young football team. Well, the streak is over for Wisconsin. Barry Alvarez and company earn a hard-fought victory here, 17-10 over the Michigan State Spartans for the defending two-time Rose Bowl champion Badgers. It is their first Big Ten win after 3 straight losses. Let's take a look at the Value City Department Store. Play of
In fact, this is the first time since 1984 that neither Tennessee nor Alabama has been in someone's top 25. After a 3-0 start, including wins against Penn State, Colorado, and a better-than-you-think San Jose State team, USC and Paul Hackett are in serious trouble. The Trojans, who were preseason co-favorites in the Pac-10, are 0-2 in the conference for the first time in almost 3 decades, which is why the heat is on Hackett. Fans booed the Trojans during last Saturday's loss to Arizona at the Coliseum, and the same thing could happen this week when Oregon comes to town. Miami's Ken Dorsey got home after the big win against Florida State and began cramping up. He was taken to the hospital where he received intravenous fluids. The Hurricanes don't want to take any chances with their emerging star. As a starter, Dorsey has thrown 20 touchdowns and only 1 interception. His last interception came during last December's game against Temple. I'm Gene Wojciechowski, ESPN.
Thanks, Gene. Coming up, can Patrick Waugh move closer to becoming hockey's all-time winningest goalie?
Also, Seattle's Kaz Sasaki trying to learn English by watching SportsCenter. Kenny Mayne will explain why that's not possible.
Here's David Harrison.
Cartersville Jewelry Exchange can sell you quality gold, diamond, and platinum jewelry for about the same prices we sold to jewelers across the country. Cartersville Jewelry Exchange can sell you this quarter-carat diamond cluster for only $49, and this half-carat solitaire for only $199. Cartersville Jewelry Exchange wants you to remember there is nothing romantic about paying too much. Cartersville Jewelry Exchange in the Walmart Lowe's Center, open 7 days a week.
How hard can it be?
Crap.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's all in how you dress. Owens King Menswear on Broad Street, downtown Rome.
Monday on ESPN Classic. The game that brought baseball back and the man who made it happen. Starting at 8, Carlton Fisk, his life and career on Sports Century. At 9, Classic Day in History. Game 6 of the 75 World Series and the Fisk home run that made history. Sports Century at 8, Classic Day in History at 9. Plus a special in-depth look at the game at 11. Monday, only on ESPN Classic. Sponsored by Selsun Blue. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN this week from Soldier Field in Chicago, where Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, and the Vikes try to remain undefeated when they visit the Bears. The action starts with NFL primetime at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by the game at 8:30 Eastern right here on the ESPN network.
Bucks, Colorado looking to remain undefeated, facing the Canucks. Milan Hajduk. Good fake. Good goal past Felix Potvin. Hajduk's second of the game adds up 2-1. Patrick Waugh in control, just asked Brendan Morrison. Sorry, folks. Parks closed. Patrick Waugh, 19 saves in the game. To the third period we go. We have some fisticuffs, and guess who's involved? Donald Brashear against Scott Parker. Brashear's first fight of the year, and a couple minutes later was Brashear at it again, this time with Greg DeVries. Rough night for Brashear and the Canucks. Not for Colorado, though. They remain undefeated. Patrick Waugh, career win number 446. He can tie Terry Sawchuk's all-time mark Saturday at home against the expansion Blue Jackets.
Coyotes and the Sharks. Sean Burke trying to make it a 3-0 start for the Coyotes. San Jose on the power play. Marco Sturm on the offensive, but Burke with a great save. Game tied at 1 at this point. Minutes later, San Jose another power play. Vinny Danfus shoots. There's a rebound there. Another great save by Burke. Late third period. Stefan Matteau comes down the ice, shoots. Brad Stewart. A rebound and a goal, his first of the year. Late in the game, San Jose goalie Steve Shields trying to make a save. Hurts his right leg. Shields would have to come out of the contest. Sharks go on to win, though, anyway, by the score of 2-1. Keith Tkachuk of Phoenix, by the way, hurt a groin in the morning skate and did not play. Not a good day when you pull a groin in the morning skate.
All right, Bill, if you say so. Dave King and the expansion Columbus Blue Jackets hoping to find their first win in Calgary. Rostislav Klesla, the slapper, right by Mike Vernon. First career NHL goal for Klesla. Blue Jackets up 1-0. It was 2-0. Power play. Jerome Aginla, so dangerous for the Flames, deflecting it right by Ron Tugnett. First Flames power play goal this year, second goal of the season for Aginla. Meanwhile, tied at 2. Flames fail to clear it. David Vaborny, the shot. Kevin Adams, that's Kevin with a Y, is there for the rebound. Second goal of the game for Kevin with a Y. Adams, Blue Jackets would have their first victory in franchise history. Adams, his first career 2-goal game, doing the job. Tugnut, 19 stops. The Flames dropped 3 straight at home to start the year.
Seattle's Kazuhiro Sasaki may end up winning the American League's Rookie of the Year award. In his first year in this country, Sasaki has had a much easier time with opposing hitters than he's had learning the English language.
So who better to send to assist Sasaki with the English language than a man who is known for his way with words? A man who can communicate like no other. Face it, the guy has good grammar written all over him. He's our very own Kenny Mayne.
He is learning more English, he says. This is rather frightening thought by watching ESPN's Sports Center and Baseball Tonight. Sasaki says, I'm using ESPN to learn the language, not to speak it, not right now. I'm working on my listening skills. The trouble is they talk so fast. And he added, I can't seem to figure out that Kenny Mayne at all.
He's not the only one.
No, he's not. Certainly not the only one. Mrs. Mayne would back us up on that.
I feel shame for confusing you on the television.
Do you think Barney Rubble's a good actor?
My heart is a dragon.
You know how the players put chew or sunflower seeds? Do you ever just put wasabi? Wasabi?
No.
Burn your face off.
No. How do you think a family of 4 can afford to go to a baseball game and then go have fresh yellowtail? Very, very difficult. Is your elbow okay now? Does it ever hurt and you cry out in the night? No. Now you realize I'm from Seattle, but I can't show preference, so I would help with the communication skills on that side as well if I needed to. So this is like a universal language that you play peekaboo? Peekaboo with children? Right? Like this? Like peekaboo? Nai ba? Is that what you say, you mean? Yeah. So it'd be like, nai ba. Yeah. Does it scare the children? They usually laugh. The children laugh. In the Seattle paper, it talked about, how do you pronounce this? Daimajin. Daimajin. They gave him that nickname? Is it true you would save the peasantry of the feudal past whenever there's a fly ball and a guy's about to miss it. I'll just yell anything. I'll just yell, boat. 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 You understand what you're saying. So I'm not a total idiot. I feel proud. He's tall. He's tall. Home run. Home run. You know Stuart Scott? He always yells, booyah. Booyah.
Wasabi?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Wasabi. What's up?
I think Taz is all over the English language right now, thanks to Kenny Mayne. Game 3 between the Yanks and Mariners Friday night in Seattle. Andy Pettit, Aaron Seeley. You can hear it on ESPN Radio. Coverage starting at 7:37 Eastern Time on the ESPN Radio affiliate in your area.
Coming up, more from the NLCS. Another late inning win for the Mets. Another game-winning hit for Jay Payton.
Monday Night Countdown, every week at 7:30 on ESPN.
Here's my card.
She may be bad, the double, but she'll show you the best time you've ever had.
I can give you everything you've always dreamed of.
Evil is her game.
I've been really naughty, haven't I?
But
you are so bad.
Why, thank you.
She may have met her match.
Wish me sometime.
No! Brendan Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley.
You're just a big Boy Scout, aren't you? Oh, I find that incredibly appealing.
Dazzle, rated PG-13, October 20th, only in theaters.
ESPN the magazine. Well, thank you for calling. Dan, can I put you on hold? Dan Patrick wants a free Polar Fleece pullover. He writes a column for the magazine. But he's not a new subscriber.
Sorry, Dan. No can do on the fleece. It's only for new subscribers. You mean you're actually calling to subscribe?
Okay, sure. Okay.
Everyone wants our warm, roomy Polar Fleece pullover. It has a half zip front and embroidered ESPN the magazine logo. And best of all, it's free.
ESPN the magazine. It's Rich Eisen. He's called 3 times.
Sorry, Rich. I agree, it's a great-looking fleece, but it's only for new subscribers.
Subscribe now to ESPN the magazine and get your sports the way it ought to be. Big and bold, fast and furious. With in-your-face photos, amazing interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage of what's happening now and what's happening next. All with ESPN attitude.
Stuart Scott wants the fleece.
Booyah! Call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. That's 66% off the newsstand price. And your fleece pullover is free.
It's Chris Berman.
He could go all the way!
Call now for ESPN the magazine and your free fleece pullover. 1-800-491-2233.
Welcome back, everybody. This reminder that after every Major League postseason game, you can see post-game press conferences live on ESPN News. With more now on another dramatic win by the Mets, here's Jeremy Schaap from St. Louis.
You gotta believe the amazing Mets, the miracle Mets. As Tim Kirchen reports, there has perhaps never been a team, even now, that so vividly brings to life its nicknames and slogans. The Mets won another one-run game. This time they scored from first on a single. A lousy bunter dropped a perfect bunt, and they capitalized on the mistakes of the Cardinals. The Mets have won all of these kind of games in this postseason.
I've never seen a team that's better than this one at finding a way to win a baseball game. I think we obviously have very solid pitching. We've got a strength in the bullpen, but we've got some guys that come up with huge hits, timely defense, and some big pitches.
We just don't, as I said, we don't get down, we don't get frustrated. We just keep hanging in there,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the pressure playing in New York that, we seem to be a little more relaxed in late innings or whatever. But, something, I don't know what it is. We just find a way to get those runs when we need it.
The Mets were given a 2-run lead in the first because Rick Ankiel walked 3 and threw 2 wild pitches.
We try to give him as much support as possible. You try to pull him through it, but then, the second time out to the mound, I had to tell him, hey, listen, that backstop's not a pitchback.
The Mets regained the lead in the 8th when Timo Perez, running on a 3-2 pitch, scored from first on Edgardo Alfonso's soft single to right center.
We're playing no doubles. And,
You know, he runs well. I think it was a 3-2 pitch, and he's running. So we just do the best we can to get the ball in. And, you know, it's just a baseball game.
The Mets won it in the ninth on an error. Benny Agbayani sacrifice bunt, and another big hit by rookie Jay Payton.
You go out there, you take ground balls every day. You know, you try to get every hop possible. And I just flat out booted that one. You know, then after that, you got to figure there's going to be some sort of way or another. They're going to get him in a second, so you figure there's going to be a bunt play.
Benny, how critical was it to get that bunt down in that spot?
It was real critical. I think, you know, I learned my lesson from, you know, the San Fran series, and, you know, I knew how to get the bunt down this time.
The Mets won the second most one-run games in the National League this year. They've won 3 more in this postseason, 2 after blowing late leads on the road. As one Met said, hey, maybe this is just our year. In St. Louis, Tim Kirkjian, ESPN.
Tim, thanks. Joined now by Dave Campbell. Dave, we're talking again about the way in which Mark McGwire was used. Do you think he was used correctly in Game 2?
Probably not the ideal situation for Tony La Russa, but let's take you through it. He was going to use him in the 4th inning. They were down 3-1 if Marrero can get on. Marrero struck out. If Matt Morris can get out of the 8th inning, he had 2 out and nobody on at a tie game. Morris is going to hit second in the bottom half of the 8th inning. He would have used him there, but Morris couldn't get the outs. 1st and 3rd, Sean Dunston at the plate. He could have used him there, but there was 1 out. McGwire with a bad knee, very prone to the double play ball there. And then when the wild pitch occurred and the runner went to second, he knows if he uses McGwire, McGwire's going to be walked intentionally. If he would have used Rick Wilkins after the J.D. Drew double, then Wilkins probably would have been walked. Left-handed batter, maybe not, but regardless, Carlos Hernandez with a herniated disc, if he blows his back out, La Russa has no catcher left. The one thing La Russa said was that by walking McGwire, I was going to give one of my position players a chance to win the game. That would be Craig Paquette. Paquette's got a slider speed bat. Turk Wendell, a slider speed pitcher. He had a couple of pitches to hit, didn't. That's why all these questions have to be answered.
Game 3 Saturday at Shea, Rick Reed versus Andy Bennis. For Dave Campbell and Tim Kirkjian, I'm Jeremy Shepp in St. Louis.
Gentlemen, nice job, and thank you. Coming up on Sports Center, it's a fan favorite. It's Top Plays, and will Curious George on skates make it?
You worry about your car lasting? Imagine going 500 miles in one stretch at 200 miles an hour. That gets out the life right out of your car. That's why my team has always used Havoline Motor Oil, the same unique formulation you can get for your car. About. Why aren't you guys working?
And for 5-year, 150,000-mile cooling system protection, try Havoline Extended Life Antifreeze.
He's helped thousands find love.
Go to the bus station and hang out with no underpants.
But when it comes to himself, he doesn't have a clue. The Ladies' Man.
Teresa.
Rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
It's just like a movie theater.
RCA Digital Home Theater from Radio Shack.
There's just one thing that's missing. A cup holder.
Where can you get a big rebate on big RCA TVs? Radio Shack, of course. Pick out the TV of your dreams. Sign up for 3 years of MSN Internet access and you'll save $400. The RCA Digital Entertainment Center, only at Radio Shack.
How to speak Australian.